You have been taught that happiness is a destination, a future point in time when all the pieces of your life finally fall into place. You have been told to chase your dreams, to plan for tomorrow, to relive your memories, to do anything but stand still in the quiet, unassuming space of the present moment. But if the future is where joy resides, why does the constant striving leave you feeling so drained, so perpetually almost there, but never quite arriving? And if the past holds the keys to who you are, why does looking back so often bring a wave of regret or a longing for what can never be again? The truth, a secret whispered by sages and saints for millennia, is that the only point of power, the only place where life truly exists, is right here, right now. What if you were to discover that the peace you have been seeking in the future and the comfort you have been looking for in the past are actually hidden in the one place you have been taught to overlook? What if the eternal now is not an empty, fleeting moment, but a vast, boundless ocean of tranquility, waiting for you to simply stop and notice? Buddhist wisdom has long illuminated this profound truth, that the root of all our restlessness is our mind's tendency to wander, to live anywhere but where our feet are planted. The art of being present is not another task to master, not another goal to achieve. It is a gentle homecoming, a return to the sanctuary of your own being, a release from the tyranny of time. Tonight, as you settle in and allow these words to wash over you, you will feel a subtle but powerful shift. The relentless chatter of your mind will begin to soften. The anxieties about what is to come and the sorrows for what has been will start to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. In their place, a profound stillness will emerge, a quiet space where you can finally rest, where you can simply be. This is not about forgetting your past or abandoning your dreams for the future. It is about discovering a new way to live, a way in which you are no longer a prisoner of time, but a friend of the present moment. So, if you are ready to let go of the weight of yesterday and the burden of tomorrow, if you are ready to step into the gentle, healing embrace of the now, then let us begin this journey together. What time is it for you? And where in the world are you listening from? Let me know in the comments below. As the gentle truth of living in the now begins to settle in your soul, a common question may arise, one that touches the very core of our human experience. How can we embrace the present moment without losing our sense of direction, our memories, our very identity? Many people hear the call to be present and mistake it for a call to be aimless, to drift through life without purpose or reflection. This misunderstanding is a subtle trap, for what appears to be a state of peaceful acceptance on the surface can quickly become a form of spiritual bypassing, a way to avoid the lessons of the past and the responsibilities of the future. The path of mindfulness is not about erasing the timeline of your life. It is about learning to stand gracefully at its center. It is about becoming so rooted in the now that you can look back with wisdom and forward with hope, without ever losing your footing. The art of being present is the gentle anchoring of the soul in the harbor of the immediate moment. It is the ability to experience life as it unfolds, to taste the flavors, to feel the textures, to hear the sounds, without the constant filter of past judgments or future anxieties. Apathy, on the other hand, is the refusal to engage with the moment at all. It is the heart that has grown weary of the journey and decides to simply stop feeling. One is born from a deep and courageous engagement with life, the other from a fearful retreat. One expands your capacity for joy and connection, the other slowly starves it. This delicate distinction is the key to transforming your life not into an empty void, but into a vibrant, living masterpiece. When you are truly present, you still remember the past, but you are no longer haunted by it. You can visit your memories as you would a library, taking down a book, learning from its pages, and then gently placing it back on the shelf. You do not carry the weight of the entire library on your back. Similarly, you can plan for the future. You can set intentions and dream beautiful dreams, but you do so without attachment to the outcome. Your joy is not postponed until the dream is realized. Your joy is found in the mindful, deliberate steps you take in this very moment. An apathetic heart, however, sees no value in the lessons of the past and no point in striving for a better future. It convinces you that nothing matters, that engagement is futile. A present person feels the sting of a past mistake and responds with self-compassion, while an apathetic person simply numbs the pain, learning nothing. This is why the confusion between presence and apathy is so perilous. Apathy wears the mask of serene detachment, but beneath it lies a hollow emptiness. The great teachers of wisdom never instructed us to stop feeling, to stop caring, or to stop dreaming. They taught us to find the middle way, a path that gracefully avoids the frantic chase of the future and the heavy chains of the past. True presence is discovered in this sacred middle ground. You can sit with a friend who is hurting, fully present to their pain, offering the gift of your unwavering attention without getting lost in their story. You can receive a compliment with a full and open heart, truly savoring the moment of connection without letting it build your ego. Apathy would tell you to build a wall, to protect yourself from the pain of others, and to dismiss the praise of others as meaningless. But a protected heart is a lonely heart. What is less than hay shown, second pause, is greater than. Many people choose a form of detached apathy because it feels safer. If you don't invest your heart fully in the present moment, you can't be disappointed. If you keep your attention on the horizon of the future, you don't have to deal with the messiness of the here and now. But this illusion of safety is a costly one. In shielding yourself from the potential pain of the present, you also cut yourself off from its infinite beauty, its spontaneous joys, its unexpected miracles. Being present requires immense courage. It asks you to show up for your life with your whole heart, knowing that this moment, in its perfect, unrepeatable uniqueness, will never come again. It is this courage that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, while apathy leaves you with a life of muted colors and faded experiences. Modern psychology is beginning to catch up with this ancient wisdom, providing a scientific language for the experience of being present. Researchers speak of the flow state, a state of complete absorption in an activity where time seems to disappear and the division between self and action dissolves. This is the mind of presence. They also speak of emotional dysregulation, the state of being overwhelmed by feelings that are amplified by our thoughts about them. When you are not present, you are not just feeling sad. You are feeling sad about being sad, anxious about your anxiety, creating endless loops of suffering. Presence is the gentle interruption of this cycle. It is the simple, non-judgmental awareness that allows a feeling to arise, to be felt, and to pass without the added layers of mental commentary. Indifference, or apathy, is an attempt to short-circuit this process by pretending the feeling isn't there at all, but the body keeps the score. Suppressed emotions manifest as tension in the shoulders, a tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach. The body, in its profound wisdom, cannot lie. It is always, unfailingly, in the present moment. Spiritual growth is watered by the river of compassion, and compassion can only flow in the present moment. When your mind is lost in the future, you are too busy worrying to notice the person in front of you who needs your help. When your mind is trapped in the past, you are too busy regretting to offer a kind word to someone who is struggling now. Presence clears the channel for compassion to flow through you. It removes the static of your own internal dramas, allowing you to truly see and hear another being. Apathy, however, poisons the well of compassion. It whispers that caring is a burden, that the problems of the world are not your own. A present person can listen to a friend's story with an open heart, offering the silent gift of their full attention, and then release the story, not carrying it as their own burden. An apathetic person might not even bother to listen, believing it is better to remain undisturbed. One path leads to connection, the other to a profound and lonely isolation. You can see this distinction with startling clarity in the realm of relationships. Presence allows you to love someone as they are, in this moment, without the constant need for them to be different, to change, to fit the mold of your future expectations. You give them the gift of your full attention, the most precious offering you have. Your love becomes a space of freedom, of acceptance, of growth. Apathy, disguised as a form of easygoing acceptance, is actually a form of neglect. It pretends not to care what the other person does or feels, but this is not freedom, it is a lack of connection. When you are apathetic, you miss the 1,000 small miracles that make up a shared life, because your heart is not invested in the moment-to-moment reality of the other person. Intimacy requires presence, the vulnerability of showing up for the good, the bad, and the mundane. Apathy keeps you at a safe distance, but that distance is a cold and empty place. Think of presence as the act of seeing the world with the fresh eyes of a child, but with the wisdom of an adult. You understand the truth of impermanence, that everything is in a constant state of flux. Relationships evolve, feelings change, your own body ages. This deep understanding, born of presence, does not lead to a cold detachment. On the contrary, it deepens your appreciation for everything. You savor the taste of your morning coffee because you are fully there to taste it, knowing the moment is fleeting. You treasure a conversation with a loved one because you know that this exact moment will never be repeated. Apathy looks at the same truth of impermanence and draws a different, more tragic conclusion. It shrugs its shoulders and says, "If nothing lasts, why bother getting attached? Why bother caring at all?" This is not wisdom. This is a surrender to despair. It is the closing of the heart before life has even had a chance to touch it. The very heart of Buddhist practice is the union of wisdom and compassion. Wisdom without compassion can become a dry, intellectual pursuit, a collection of concepts that fails to touch the heart. Compassion without wisdom can become a form of burnout, an overwhelming empathy that drowns you in the suffering of the world. Presence is the sacred space where these two wings of enlightenment meet. You see the illusory nature of the self, the transient nature of all things. Yet this seeing does not make you cold. It fills you with a profound and boundless love for all beings who are caught in the dream, who are suffering because they believe their thoughts and fears are real. You know that nothing is permanent, but you still offer a hand to someone who has fallen. You understand that desire is the root of suffering, but you still smile with genuine joy at the sight of a beautiful sunset. Apathy has no such balance. It uses the excuse of wisdom to justify a retreat from the world, to abandon the sacred duty of compassion. Is less than has shown number. Number is greater than. Consider how this plays out on a larger, societal scale. A person living in presence can confront the immense suffering of the world without being destroyed by it. They can read the news, they can engage in activism, they can donate their time or money, but they do so from a centered place of mindful action, not from a reactive place of anger or despair. They act because it is the compassionate thing to do in this moment, not because they are attached to a specific outcome or in need of recognition. Apathy, however, looks at the world's problems and declares them to be too much, not my responsibility, or hopeless. It uses the vastness of the problem as an excuse for inaction. This is a profound misreading of our interconnectedness. True presence does not make you blind to the world. It makes you more vibrantly, compassionately alive to its needs, even as you release your personal anxieties about it. At the very root of this confusion between presence and apathy lies a deep-seated fear. People fear that if they fully inhabit the present moment, they will lose their ambition, their drive, the very engine that pushes them to achieve. So they either live in a state of perpetual, forward-leaning anxiety, or they swing to the opposite extreme of a listless indifference. But true presence is not the death of passion. It is the source of pure, unadulterated passion. A present artist creates not for the applause or the gallery opening, but for the sheer, unbridled joy of creation in this moment. A present leader inspires not from a place of ego or a desire for power, but from a deep, authentic connection to a vision in this moment. A present lover loves not to get something in return, but for the simple, profound beauty of loving in this moment. This is a passion that is fueled not by a sense of lack, but by a sense of fullness. Furthermore, the practice of being present sharpens your awareness, while apathy dulls it. When you are apathetic, you are actively trying to feel less. You numb yourself to avoid the discomfort of difficult emotions or challenging situations. But numbness is not selective. In numbing your pain, you also numb your joy. In dulling your senses to the unpleasant, you also dull them to the beautiful, the sublime, the sacred. Presence does the exact opposite. It is an invitation to feel everything more fully, more vibrantly. Because you are no longer lost in the clouds of your own mental chatter, the world comes alive. Food tastes more delicious. Music sounds more resonant. The touch of a loved one feels more electric. You are no longer just a thinker of thoughts, a passive observer of a life that is happening to you. You are a full participant in the rich tapestry of sensory experience. Apathy shrinks your world to the size of your own comfort zone. Presence expands it to the edges of the universe, is less than Hashon. Second pause is greater than. There is also a profound moral dimension to this distinction. Apathy can, in its most extreme forms, become a gateway to cruelty. When nothing truly matters to you, the suffering of others becomes an abstraction, an inconvenience, a thing to be ignored. Presence, because it is inextricably linked with compassion, can never lead to cruelty. It is rooted in the felt sense of our shared being. A truly present person feels the pain of another, not as a threat to their own peace, but as a call to connection, a reminder of our common humanity. A monk who has renounced all worldly possessions may still weep at the sight of another's suffering, not because he has lost his equanimity, but because he has found his humanity. His presence allows him to give more of himself, not less. Apathy does not give. It only withholds. It only retreats. It only builds walls. This is not a new idea. Philosophers and mystics from every tradition have pointed to this same truth in their own unique language. The ancient Greek Stoics spoke of prosoche, a kind of vigilant, moment-to-moment attention. They understood that our inner world was the only thing we could truly control, and that our peace depended on our ability to respond to life with wisdom and virtue in the here and now. This is not the same as the modern caricature of a stoic as someone who is emotionless. It is, rather, someone who is the master of their inner world, someone who is not tossed about by the waves of fleeting emotions, but is anchored in the deep, calm waters of presence. Presence is the mastery of your attention, not the neglect of your heart. It is the conscious choice to respond to life as it is, rather than reacting blindly to the stories you tell yourself about it. Apathy is simply the refusal to respond at all. Your body is a wise and faithful friend, a constant companion that lives, without exception, in the present moment. Your mind can wander to the furthest reaches of the past, or spin elaborate fantasies about the future, but your body remains right here, right now, breathing. It is the anchor that can always bring you back to the calm harbor of the now. When you feel yourself lost in a storm of thoughts, adrift on a sea of anxiety, the simplest and most profound act is to return to the sensations of your body. Feel the weight of your body resting on the surface beneath you. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Feel the air as it enters your nostrils, cool and fresh, and as it leaves, warm and soft. This is not a complex practice. It requires no special equipment, no particular belief system. It is simply a return to what is already true. The breath is the most patient and reliable teacher of presence. It is the rhythm of life itself, a constant, gentle wave washing ashore on the beach of your awareness. It asks nothing of you. It simply is. When you bring your attention to your breath, you are stepping out of the chaotic stream of your thinking mind and resting on the quiet riverbank. You are not trying to change your breath, to make it deeper or slower. You are simply noticing it, in and out, a gentle rise, a gentle fall. In this simple, repeated act of noticing, a universe of peace can be found. Each breath is a new beginning, a fresh moment, a chance to start again. The past is gone, the future has not arrived. There is only this breath, this moment, and this one, and this one. Our society teaches us to live from the neck up, lost in the labyrinth of our thoughts. We treat our bodies as vehicles, to carry our heads from one meeting to the next, as machines to be fed and exercised, but we rarely inhabit them fully. To be present is to return to the wisdom of the body. It is to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, to notice the subtle ache in your shoulder, to feel the solid ground beneath your feet. Your body is constantly sending you messages, constantly communicating with you in the language of sensation, but you can only hear these messages when you quiet the mind long enough to listen. When you are fully in your body, you are fully in the now. Anxiety cannot easily survive in a body that is deeply felt. It is a creature of the mind, feeding on thoughts of what might go wrong. By grounding your awareness in the physical sensations of this moment, you cut off its food supply. Think of your attention as a spotlight. For most of your life, that spotlight has been shining on the endless movie of your thoughts, projecting images of the past and future onto the screen of your mind. The practice of presence is simply the act of gently, kindly, redirecting that spotlight away from the movie and onto the felt sense of the present moment. Shine it on your hands. Feel the texture of the fabric they are resting on. Notice their temperature. Shine it on your feet. Feel the points of contact with the floor or the bed. Wiggle your toes and feel the sensation. Each time you do this, you are strengthening a muscle, the muscle of attention. You are training your mind to come back, again and again, to its true home, the here and now. This is not a battle against your thoughts. You cannot win a war against your own mind. The attempt to stop thinking is just another thought, another layer of struggle. The path of presence is one of gentle acceptance. When a thought arises, as it inevitably will, you simply notice it. You see it as you would see a cloud passing in the sky. You acknowledge it, without judgment, without criticism, and then you gently guide your attention back to your anchor, back to your breath, back to your body. There is a thought about tomorrow. And now, back to the feeling of the air entering my lungs. A memory from childhood. And now, back to the sensation of my hands. This is the practice. It is a dance, not a fight. A dance between thought and awareness, between the wandering mind and the anchored heart. In the quiet space of presence, you begin to notice the subtle energies that animate your body. You feel the gentle hum of life itself. You may notice a feeling of warmth spreading through your chest, a sense of spaciousness opening in your mind, a feeling of deep, profound restfulness settling into your bones. This is your natural state. This is the peace that is always available to you, waiting patiently beneath the surface of your mental noise. It is not something you need to create, to achieve, or to earn. It is something you simply need to allow. By returning to the body, by returning to the breath, you are creating the conditions for this natural peace to reveal itself. You are coming home. Imagine you are standing on the shore of a vast and turbulent ocean. The waves are the crashing, chaotic thoughts and emotions of your mind. For years, you have been struggling in those waves, trying to control them, trying to push them away, getting tossed and turned in the process. The practice of presence is like taking a few steps back, up onto the warm, solid sand. You can still see the waves, you can still hear them, but you are no longer at their mercy. You are watching them from a place of safety, of stillness, of peace. The waves will continue to come and go, as is their nature, but you are no longer identified with them. You are the calm, witnessing presence, the silent, spacious awareness in which the whole drama of the mind unfolds. This shift from being in the waves to watching from the shore is the essence of freedom. It is the discovery of a dimension within you that is untouched by the turmoil of your life, a core of stillness that is always present, always available. Your body is the gateway to this discovery. Your breath is the key that unlocks the door. So, for a few moments, simply rest here. Rest in the awareness of your body, breathing. No need to go anywhere. No need to do anything. No need to figure anything out. Just this simple, profound, miraculous moment of being alive. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath as a lullaby, a soothing song that rocks you into a state of deep and effortless peace. As you become more grounded in the silent wisdom of your body, you may begin to notice a remarkable change in your perception of the world around you. The world itself has not changed, but your capacity to truly see it, to hear it, to feel it, has been profoundly expanded. Presence is like cleaning the windows of perception, which have been smudged and clouded by the fingerprints of past experiences and future worries. When the glass is clear, the world in all its vibrant, intricate beauty can finally shine through. The simple act of washing the dishes, once a mundane chore to be rushed through, can become a symphony of sensation. The warmth of the water on your hands, the smooth, slippery texture of the soap, the satisfying clink of clean plates stacking together. Each moment becomes an opportunity for wonder, a miniature meditation. We live in a world that is designed to pull our attention away from the present. Notifications on our phones, endless streams of information, the constant pressure to be productive, to be somewhere else. We have been conditioned to believe that what is right in front of us is not as important as what is coming next or what is happening elsewhere. The practice of presence is a gentle but radical act of rebellion against this cultural hypnosis. It is the conscious choice to grant the gift of your full attention to the here and now, to declare that this moment, in its simplicity, is worthy of being savored. It is the realization that a walk in the park is not just a means to get some exercise. It is an opportunity to feel the crunch of leaves under your feet, to see the intricate patterns of bark on a tree, to feel the cool breeze on your cheek. Life is not a dress rehearsal for some future event. The main event is now. When you are not present, you are not truly listening. You may be hearing the words that another person is saying, but your mind is busy formulating a response, judging their story, or drifting off into your own concerns. To listen with presence is to offer a rare and precious gift. It is to create a space of silent, open-hearted attention in which the other person feels truly seen and heard. You listen not just with your ears, but with your whole body. You notice their tone of voice, their body language, the subtle emotions that flicker across their face. In this space of deep listening, connection happens. Misunderstandings dissolve, hearts can touch. This is a form of compassion that is active, engaged, and profoundly healing for both the listener and the speaker. Consider the act of eating. For many of us, a meal is something to be consumed quickly, often while distracted by a screen or lost in thought. We barely taste the food. We eat not for nourishment or pleasure, but simply to quell the feeling of hunger. To eat with presence is to transform the act into a celebration of life. It is to take a moment to look at the food on your plate, to appreciate the colors, the shapes, the textures. It is to notice the aroma before you even take a bite. And when you do eat, you do so slowly, savoring each mouthful, noticing the complex interplay of flavors. In doing so, you are not only enjoying your food more, you are also honoring the entire chain of life that brought it to your plate. The sun, the soil, the rain, the hands that planted and harvested it. Nature is a powerful teacher of presence. A tree does not worry about its future growth or regret its past seasons. It is simply, fully, a tree in this moment. A flower does not rush to bloom or cling to its petals when they begin to fall. It moves in perfect harmony with the rhythm of life. When you spend time in nature, you are bathing in an atmosphere of pure presence. Allow yourself to be mentored by the stillness of a mountain, the effortless flow of a river, the patient unfolding of a fern. Let the natural world remind you of your own true nature, which is also one of stillness, of flow, of patient, graceful unfolding. You are not separate from nature. You are a part of it, and its rhythms are your rhythms. Even difficult and unpleasant experiences can be transformed by the power of presence. When you encounter a challenging situation, a difficult conversation, a moment of physical pain, a wave of intense emotion, the tendency of the untrained mind is to resist, to tense up, to try to escape. Presence offers a different path. It is the path of gentle, courageous acceptance. It is the willingness to meet the moment as it is, without adding a layer of mental resistance. This does not mean you become a passive victim of circumstance. It means you meet the situation with a clear mind and an open heart. which allows you to respond with wisdom and grace, rather than reacting from a place of fear. You learn to be with your pain, rather than fighting against it, and in this being with, you discover a strength you never knew you had. Think of the mind as a garden. For years, the garden has been overgrown with the weeds of worry, of regret, of endless planning. You have been so busy pulling weeds that you have not had a moment to enjoy the flowers. The practice of presence is not about pulling all the weeds, an impossible task. It is about choosing to focus your attention on the flowers that are already blooming. It is about watering the seeds of peace, of joy, of gratitude that are already present in the soil of your being. As you give your attention to the flowers, they begin to grow stronger, more vibrant, and as they grow, they naturally begin to crowd out the weeds. You overcome the darkness, not by fighting it, but by turning on the light. This light is your own awareness, your own gentle, non-judgmental attention. It is the most powerful force for transformation in the universe. Whatever you shine this light upon begins to change. Shine it on your anxiety, and it begins to soften. Shine it on your relationships, and they begin to deepen. Shine it on a simple, everyday task, and it becomes a source of joy. You do not need to wait for your life to be perfect to be happy. You do not need to wait until you have resolved all your past issues or secured your future. You can choose to be happy right now, simply by choosing to be present. Peace is not a distant shore. It is the ground beneath your feet. After journeying through these gentle reminders, one simple, profound truth begins to resonate more deeply than all the others. That peace is not a destination to be reached, but a reality to be inhabited. It is found not in the distant lands of yesterday or tomorrow, but in the sacred, fertile ground of this very moment. Being present is not about emptiness or indifference. It is about a radical fullness. It is the sharp, clear mind that sees the world as it is, without the distortions of fear and desire. It is the steady, grounded body that moves through life with grace and purpose. It is the open, courageous heart that loves without clinging and feels without being overwhelmed. It is the quiet, spacious spirit that finds rest in the eternal, unending rhythm of the now. The mind's frantic search for something more begins to dissolve in the simple richness of what is. The constant striving for a future perfection gives way to a deep appreciation for the imperfect beauty of this moment. The stories of the past, once heavy chains, become wise teachers. The anxieties of the future, once dark clouds, become distant possibilities that no longer hold power over the calm sky of your awareness. You discover that you are not the fleeting thoughts, not the turbulent emotions, not the ever-changing circumstances of your life. You are the silent, witnessing presence in which all of these things arise and pass away. You are the stillness that was there before the storm, and the stillness that remains after it has passed. So the next time you feel the familiar pull of anxiety about what is to come, or the heavy weight of regret about what has been, gently guide yourself back home. Come back to the feeling of your feet on the ground. Come back to the gentle, rhythmic dance of your breath. Come back to the vibrant, living sensations of your body. This is your anchor. This is your sanctuary. This is your truth. You do not need to force peace to arrive. You only need to stop and listen and allow the peace that is already here to emerge from the depths of your own being. It has been waiting for you, patiently, lovingly, your whole life. Now, I would be honored to hear from you. Which of these ideas about presence resonated with you the most deeply tonight? Was it the idea of the body as an anchor, the transformation of everyday tasks, or the courage to meet difficult moments with acceptance? Please share your reflections in the comments below. Your journey is an inspiration, and your insights enrich this community. And if you have found value in this time together, I invite you to subscribe and touch the bell so that you never miss another journey into the heart of peace. More wisdom is always waiting, and together we will continue to walk this path of awakening, one present moment at a time. Time, as we perceive it, is perhaps the most powerful and pervasive illusion that governs our lives. We see it as a straight line, a river carrying us inexorably from a fixed past to an uncertain future. We measure it, we save it, we waste it, we chase it. This conception of time is the very architecture of our anxiety. The past is a landscape of regrets, of things we wish we had done differently, of moments we long to relive. The future is a territory of fear, of endless what-ifs, of goals that we may or may not achieve. We are suspended between a past that no longer exists and a future that has not yet been born. And in this suspension, we miss the only reality there is, the present moment. But what if time is not a line, but a point, an eternal, unending point of now? What if the past is simply a memory, a collection of thoughts arising in this present moment? And what if the future is just a projection, a series of thoughts about what might be, also arising in this present moment? The wisdom of presence teaches us that this is the deeper truth. There is no life outside of the now. Your entire life, every experience you have ever had and ever will have, unfolds in this single, timeless moment. The scenery changes, the thoughts change, the feelings change, but the screen on which it is all projected, the screen of the present moment, remains constant, untouched, and eternal. To live in the past is to be a ghost in your own life. You walk through the present, but you do not see it. You are interacting with a phantom world, a world of memory that you are constantly replaying, editing, and judging. You are having conversations with people who are not there, reliving arguments, savoring old victories. But life is happening now. The sun is shining now. The person in front of you is speaking now. By clinging to the ghost of yesterday, you are forfeiting the living, breathing reality of today. Letting go of the past is not about forgetting. It is not about pretending it didn't happen. It is about seeing it for what it is, a collection of thoughts, arising and passing away in the space of this present moment. You can learn from it, you can honor it, but you no longer need to live in it. To live in the future is to be in a constant state of becoming and never in a state of being. Your happiness is always just around the corner, contingent on the next achievement, the next relationship, the next milestone. But when you arrive at that future milestone, you will find that it is simply another present moment. And if you have not trained your mind to be present, you will not be able to enjoy it. Your mind will have already moved on to the next goal, the next destination on the horizon. This is the great poverty of a future-oriented life. You are so busy chasing happiness that you run right past it. The joy you seek is not in the destination. It is in the quality of attention you bring to the journey. This illusion of time is deeply woven into the fabric of our language and our culture. We speak of making up for lost time or investing in the future. We are taught to build a resume of past accomplishments and a blueprint for future success. But the great spiritual traditions invite us into a radically different orientation. They invite us to discover the richness, the depth, the infinite possibility that is contained within this single, simple, ordinary moment. They teach us that liberation is not about escaping from the present, but about escaping into it. It is the discovery that everything you have ever been looking for is right here, right now. When you begin to dissolve the illusion of time, fear begins to lose its power. Most fear is time-based. It is the fear of something that happened in the past happening again, or the fear of something you imagine in the future coming to pass. But in the pure, unadulterated present moment, stripped of the stories of past and future, what is there to fear? In this moment, you are breathing. In this moment, you are safe. By anchoring your awareness in the reality of the now, you step out of the horror movie of your mind and into the simple, peaceful reality of your own being. This does not mean you become passive or incapable of planning. It is a common misconception that to be present is to be irresponsible. In fact, the opposite is true. When you act from a place of presence, your actions are more clear, more powerful, more intelligent. You are responding to the actual needs of the moment, rather than reacting to the ghosts of the past or the phantoms of the future. You can still set goals. You can still make plans, but you do so with a light touch, holding them as intentions rather than as rigid demands. Your sense of self-worth is no longer tied to the achievement of those goals. Your peace is found now in the mindful execution of the task at hand, not in the imagined glory of its completion. Think of a master craftsman at work. A potter at their wheel is not thinking about the gallery where the pot will be sold, or about the pot they made yesterday. They are completely absorbed in the feeling of the clay, spinning beneath their fingers, in the subtle pressure, the gentle shaping. Their hands move with an intelligence that is born of thousands of hours of present moment attention. This is the state of flow, the state of grace, that becomes available to us in any activity when we release our obsession with the past and future. Whether you are writing an email, cooking a meal, or speaking with a child, you can bring this same quality of absorbed, loving attention to the task. This is where the sacred is found, not in a distant temple or a future heaven, but in the heart of the ordinary, illuminated by the light of your presence. Let us return, once more, to the sanctuary of the body, for it is the most honest and direct gateway to the present moment. Your body is a universe of sensation, a vast and intricate landscape that is always and only here. The mind, like a restless ghost, can haunt the corridors of the past or scout the uncharted territories of the future, but the body is a loyal and steadfast anchor in the harbor of the now. To inhabit your body fully is to reclaim your power from the tyranny of thought. It is to come home to the only place where life is actually happening. Feel, for a moment, the subtle aliveness that pervades your entire being. It is a gentle, humming energy, a quiet vibration. This is the feeling of life itself, and it is only accessible in the present moment. This feeling of the inner body, this sense of aliveness, is your most powerful tool against the grip of anxiety and the weight of negativity. When you are lost in a spiral of worried thoughts, when the mind is creating catastrophic scenarios, the simple act of bringing your awareness inward into the feeling of your hands, your feet, your chest, can be profoundly liberating. You are not trying to fight the thoughts or to solve the imagined problems. You are simply shifting your attention. You are withdrawing your energy from the mind's drama and investing it in the simple, undeniable reality of your body. In this shift, the thoughts begin to lose their power. They are like a fire that is deprived of fuel. They burn out on their own. This practice of inhabiting the inner body is not a complex mental exercise. It is a simple act of feeling. Can you feel the life in your hands right now, without needing to look at them? Can you feel the subtle tingling, the warmth, the energy? What about your feet? Can you feel the life in them, even as they rest, still and quiet? As you bring your attention to these different parts of your body, you are turning on the lights in a house that has been dark for a long time. You are reclaiming your own inner space. This inner space is a place of profound peace, a sanctuary that is always available to you, no matter what is happening in the external world or in the theater of your mind. Our culture teaches us to be disconnected from our bodies, to treat them as objects, to be judged, disciplined, and adorned. We are taught to value how our bodies look over how they feel. The path of presence invites a radical reversal of this conditioning. It invites you to befriend your body, to listen to its wisdom, to honor its signals. Your body is not your enemy. It is not a source of shame or a project to be perfected. It is a sacred vessel, a miraculous, intelligent organism that is your home for this journey of life. To be present is to treat your body with the reverence and kindness you would offer to a beloved friend. When you are rooted in the feeling of your inner body, your interactions with the world are transformed. You are no longer just a disembodied mind, interacting with other disembodied minds. You are a fully embodied being, connected to the earth, grounded in your own presence. This gives you a sense of stability and centeredness that is unshakable. When challenges arise, you meet them not from a place of reactive fear, but from a place of calm, embodied strength. Your presence becomes a gift to everyone you meet. People will feel the stillness in you, the sense of peace that you radiate, and they will be calmed by it, often without even knowing why. Let's explore the relationship between presence and creativity. The creative impulse does not arise from the logical, analytical mind. It arises from a deeper place, a place of stillness, of intuition, of connection to something larger than the individual self. This is the place of presence. When you are truly in a creative flow, the sense of you as a separate doer often disappears. There is only the doing, only the dance of creation. The writer is not writing. The words are flowing through them. The painter is not painting. The brush is moving on its own. This is the magic that happens when the ego steps aside and allows the intelligence of presence to take over. To access this creative wellspring, you must be willing to step out of the stream of constant thinking. You must be willing to embrace the unknown, to tolerate the discomfort of the empty page or the blank canvas. The thinking mind wants to have a plan, to know the outcome before it begins. But true creativity is a journey of discovery. It is a co-creation with the present moment. You take one step, and the next step is revealed. You make one mark, and that mark tells you what the next mark should be. It is a process of deep listening, of responding to the emergent intelligence of the now. Many people believe that they are not creative. This is a limiting belief that is born of a misunderstanding of what creativity is. Creativity is not just about art or music. It is a quality of consciousness that you can bring to any activity. You can be creative in the way you solve a problem at work, in the way you arrange flowers in a vase, in the way you listen to a friend. Creativity is simply the act of bringing your full, open, non-judgmental attention to the present moment and responding from that place of fresh, alive awareness, rather than from the stale, repetitive patterns of your conditioning. Presence is the antidote to the ego. The ego is the sense of a separate self, a me that is defined by its past, its possessions, its roles, its beliefs. It is a construct of the mind, a story that you have been telling yourself for your entire life. The ego thrives on time. It is constantly referencing the past to reinforce its identity. I am the kind of person who, and projecting itself into the future to seek fulfillment or to fear diminishment. When I achieve this, I will be happy, or I hope that doesn't happen to me. The ego cannot survive in the present moment. When you are truly present, the narrative of the ego fades into the background. You are no longer the story of you. You are the silent, spacious awareness in which the story is happening. This is not a loss of self, but an expansion into your true self. It is the realization that you are not the limited, vulnerable character in the movie of your life. You are the screen on which the entire movie is playing. This realization is the end of suffering, for all suffering is rooted in the ego's sense of lack, of separation, of fear. When the ego is in charge, life is a constant struggle. It is a drama of comparison, of competition, of needing to be right, of needing to be better than others. The ego sees other people either as a threat to its own importance or as a means to enhance it. This is the source of all conflict, from a minor disagreement with a partner to a major international war. When you are rooted in presence, you see others not as separate egos, but as fellow expressions of the same one consciousness. The sense of other dissolves, and in its place arises a feeling of deep connection, of empathy, of compassion. This does not mean that you become a doormat or that you lose your ability to discern and to set boundaries. On the contrary, your boundaries become clearer and more compassionate. They are no longer defensive walls built by a fearful ego. They are the clear, kind expression of your truth in the present moment. You can say no with love, without anger or guilt, because your no is not a rejection of the other person, but an honoring of your own inner guidance. You act not from a place of egoic reaction, but from a place of deep, intuitive wisdom. Let us speak of stillness. In our hyper-stimulated world, stillness is a rare and precious commodity. We are constantly bombarded with noise, with information, with demands on our attention. We have become uncomfortable with silence, with moments of non-doing. When such a moment arises, we quickly reach for our phones, for a distraction, for anything to fill the space. But it is in the space, in the stillness, that we find our true selves. It is in the stillness that we can hear the quiet voice of our own soul. Stillness is not the absence of noise or activity. It is the inner state of non-resistance to the noise and activity. You can be in the middle of a crowded, noisy city and still be inwardly still. You can be engaged in a complex and demanding task and still be rooted in a place of inner calm. This inner stillness is your true nature. It is the silent, unmoving background against which the whole drama of your life unfolds. The practice of presence is the practice of becoming aware of this background, of learning to rest in it, to live from it. To find this stillness, you do not need to retreat to a monastery or a mountain cave. You can find it right here, right now, in the midst of your ordinary life. You can find it in the pause between two thoughts. You can find it in the space between two breaths. You can find it by simply closing your eyes for a moment and feeling the life in your body. Stillness is not something you have to create. It is already here, waiting for you to notice it. It is the silent melody that is always playing beneath the noise of the world. You just have to learn to listen. This brings us to the profound difference between being and doing. Our society is obsessed with doing. We are valued for what we produce, what we achieve, what we accomplish. Our days are filled with to-do lists, with schedules, with a constant pressure to be productive. This relentless focus on doing can leave us feeling exhausted, empty, and disconnected from ourselves. We can be so busy making a living that we forget to live. Presence is the gateway to the dimension of being. Being is the state of consciousness that is prior to doing, prior to thinking, prior to any form of content. It is the simple, silent, joyful awareness of your own existence. It is the feeling of I am, without any story or label attached to it. This state of being is not a passive, inert state. It is vibrant, alive, and full of peace. It is the source from which all effective and joyful doing arises. When your doing is disconnected from the state of being, it becomes stressful and ego-driven. It is tainted by a sense of lack, a feeling that you are not yet enough, that you need to achieve something more to be whole. This is the source of burnout and dissatisfaction. But when your doing arises from the stillness of being, it is of a completely different quality. It is infused with a sense of playfulness, of ease, of joy. You are no longer trying to get somewhere, to achieve a future state of happiness. You are already happy, already whole, and your doing is simply the overflow of that fullness. This is the joy of being. It is a joy that is not dependent on external circumstances. It is not the fleeting pleasure that comes from getting what you want. It is the deep, abiding peace that comes from being who you are. This joy is your birthright. It is the natural state of a consciousness that is no longer lost in the labyrinth of the mind. You can access it at any moment, simply by stepping out of the stream of thought and into the stillness of the present. Let us consider how presence transforms our relationships. When you are not present, you are not really relating to the other person. You are relating to your idea of them, your mental image, which is a composite of past memories, judgments, and expectations. You are not seeing the living, breathing being who is in front of you now. You are seeing a ghost from the past or a projection of the future. This is why so many relationships become stale and lifeless. They are not relationships between two present beings, but between two mental concepts. To be present in a relationship is to be willing to let go of your story about the other person and to meet them anew in every moment. It is to listen with an open mind, without the filter of your past grievances or your future desires. It is to see them with fresh eyes, to notice the subtle changes in them, to be curious about who they are today, not who they were yesterday. This is a profound act of love. It is the gift of allowing someone the space to be themselves, to grow and to change, without being trapped in the prison of your expectations. When you bring presence to your relationships, conflict is transformed. Disagreements still happen, as they are a natural part of human interaction, but they are no longer egoic battles for supremacy. They become opportunities for deeper understanding. When you are present, you can listen to the other person's perspective without immediately becoming defensive. You can express your own feelings and needs clearly and kindly, without blame or accusation. You are no longer trying to win the argument. You are trying to understand and to connect. This is the path to true intimacy and lasting harmony. Presence also heals the relationship you have with yourself. For most of us, this is the most difficult relationship of all. We are accompanied by a constant inner critic, a voice in the head that is always judging, comparing, and finding fault. This voice is the source of so much of our suffering, our feelings of inadequacy, our lack of self-love. Presence is the key to disarming this inner critic. When you are present, you can observe the voice of the inner critic without believing it. You can see it for what it is, just a collection of conditioned thoughts, a pattern of old mental habits. You no longer identify with the voice. You are the silent awareness that hears the voice. In this space of awareness, the voice begins to lose its power. You are no longer at its mercy. You can hear its criticisms and simply let them go, like clouds passing in the sky. This is the beginning of true self-acceptance, of unconditional friendship with yourself. As you continue to rest in this space of presence, you may notice that your perception of the world becomes more and more dreamlike. The hard edges of reality begin to soften. The world, which once seemed so solid, so serious, so threatening, begins to reveal itself as a kind of luminous, transparent play of consciousness. You see the dance of form, the constant arising and passing away of all things, and you are no longer so identified with it, so caught up in it. You are the dreamer, and the world is your dream. This is not a state of dissociation or disconnection. It is a state of profound connection, but from a different level of reality. You are no longer just a character in the dream, lost in the drama. You are also the awareness that is dreaming the dream. From this perspective, you can participate in the dream with a sense of lightness, of playfulness, of freedom. You can still experience the joys and sorrows of life, but they no longer have the same power to define you or to destroy your inner peace. You know that it is all just a passing show, a beautiful, poignant, and ultimately illusory display. This is the great freedom that the wisdom of presence offers. It is not an escape from life, but a deeper immersion in it, an immersion that is free from fear. It is the realization that you are not the fragile, temporary form that you appear to be. You are the timeless, formless, indestructible consciousness that is the source and substance of all reality. You are life itself, and in this realization, all questions are answered, all seeking comes to an end. There is only this moment, in all its perfect, radiant, and mysterious beauty. And there is only you, the silent, spacious, and peaceful awareness in which this moment is happening. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to find. You are already home. Let us now delve deeper into the gentle, yet powerful art of acceptance. In the common vernacular, acceptance is often mistaken for resignation, for a passive and defeated surrender to unwanted circumstances. But true acceptance, as taught in the wisdom traditions, is not resignation at all. It is a courageous, clear-eyed, and empowered embrace of reality, as it is in this moment. Resignation is born of despair. It is the feeling that nothing can be done, so one simply gives up. Acceptance is born of wisdom. It is the understanding that fighting with reality is a battle you will always lose, and that true power comes not from changing the present moment, but from meeting it with an open and undefended heart. Imagine you are caught in a torrential downpour. Resignation is slumping to the ground, letting the rain soak you to the bone, muttering about your bad luck. Resistance is shaking your fist at the sky, cursing the clouds, and running frantically in search of shelter that isn't there, exhausting yourself in the process. Acceptance is feeling the rain on your skin, noticing its temperature, listening to the rhythm of its falling, and then, from that place of calm presence, deciding on the most intelligent course of action. Perhaps that is to find shelter, perhaps it is to simply walk on, but the action is born not of frantic resistance, but of clear-eyed engagement with what is. Acceptance is not about liking the situation. It is not about approving of it. It is simply about acknowledging that, in this moment, it is the reality. This practice of acceptance is most crucial and most challenging when we are faced with pain, loss, or injustice. The mind's immediate reaction to these experiences is to resist, to say, "This should not be happening." This resistance, this mental argument with reality, is the source of immense suffering. It is a second arrow, as the Buddha called it. The first arrow is the painful event itself, which may be unavoidable. The second arrow is the suffering we add on top of it through our resistance, our bitterness, our stories of victimhood. Presence is the practice of feeling the sting of the first arrow without firing the second one at ourselves. To accept pain is not to invite more of it. It is to meet the existing pain with a quality of gentle, loving attention. Instead of tensing up around the pain, you breathe into it. You allow it to be there, without judgment. You explore its sensations with a kind of detached curiosity. What does it actually feel like, stripped of the story you have built around it? Is it a burning, a throbbing, a tightness? As you bring this quality of accepting awareness to the pain, a strange alchemy begins to happen. The pain may not disappear, but your suffering around it often does. You discover a space within you that is larger than the pain, a silent, peaceful awareness that can hold the pain without being consumed by it. To accept loss is not to pretend that you are not grieving. It is not to suppress the waves of sadness that wash over you. It is to allow the grief to move through you without resistance. Grief is the natural, healthy, and necessary response to loss. It is love with nowhere to go. To accept your grief is to honor your love. You create a safe space within yourself for the tears to flow, for the heart to ache, for the memories to surface. You are the compassionate container for your own sorrow. In this acceptance, you discover that grief is not a permanent state, but a process. It is a river that, if allowed to flow, will eventually carry you to a place of peace, is less than hashon. Second pause is greater than. To accept injustice is not to condone it or to become passive in the face of it. It is to see the situation with absolute clarity, without the distorting lens of rage or despair. Rage, while sometimes a catalyst for action, can also cloud the mind and lead to unwise and ineffective responses. From a place of presence and acceptance, you can see the injustice for what it is, and then act with a calm, focused, and sustainable power. Your action is no longer a desperate reaction, but a conscious response. It is fueled not by the fire of hatred, but by the deep, quiet strength of love and a commitment to truth. Now, let us embark on a journey through the senses, for they are the direct portals to the present moment. Let us begin with the sense of hearing. For a moment, just listen. Listen to the sound of my voice, not just the words, but the tone, the cadence, the vibration. Listen to the silence that surrounds the words, the space in which they arise and pass away. Now, expand your awareness to include all the sounds around you, the subtle hum of electronics, the distant murmur of traffic, the creak of your own house. Do not label these sounds as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. Simply receive them. Let your ears be like two microphones, impartially recording the symphony of this moment. Notice how the mind wants to latch onto certain sounds and push others away. Just notice this, without judgment, and return to the simple act of listening. In this deep listening, the world becomes a vibrant, alive tapestry of sound, and you are the silent, spacious awareness in which it is all happening. Let us move to the sense of sight. If your eyes are closed, gently open them, but do not look for anything in particular. Let the world of form and color come to you. Notice the play of light and shadow in the room. Notice the different shades of a single color. Let your eyes rest softly on an object, without naming it, without analyzing it. Just see it, as if for the first time. See the intricate details, the texture, the shape. We spend most of our lives looking, but we so rarely see. We see the label, the concept, the utility of an object, but we miss its simple, miraculous being. To see with presence is to see with the eyes of a child, with a sense of wonder and awe. It is to recognize the sacred beauty that is hidden in the heart of the ordinary. Now, bring your awareness to the sense of touch. Feel the points of contact between your body and the surface it is resting on. Feel the weight, the pressure, the texture. Notice the clothes on your skin. Are they soft, rough, light, heavy? Feel the air in the room, its temperature, its movement against your exposed skin. You can even bring your hands together and feel the sensation of skin touching skin. Your sense of touch is a constant, rich source of connection to the present moment. It is a reminder that you are here, embodied, alive. By grounding yourself in the world of touch, you can instantly pull your awareness out of the abstract world of thought and into the living reality of the now. Is less than shown number. Second pause is greater than. Let us explore the sense of smell. Take a gentle breath in through your nose. What do you smell? Perhaps there is the faint scent of a flower, of food cooking, of rain on the pavement. Often, we only notice smells when they are strong or unpleasant, but there is a whole subtle world of aroma that we miss. The sense of smell is ancient and primal. It is deeply connected to memory and emotion. By bringing conscious awareness to this sense, you can unlock new layers of experience. You can transform a simple walk into a rich olfactory journey. You can turn the act of drinking a cup of tea into a profound meditation, simply by taking a moment to inhale its fragrance before you sip. Finally, let us honor the sense of taste. The next time you eat or drink something, make it a practice of presence. Before you take the first bite, look at the food, smell it. Then, when you put it in your mouth, chew slowly. Notice the explosion of flavors, the textures, the temperature. Try to identify the different ingredients. Notice how the flavors change as you chew. Most of us eat in a state of distraction, barely tasting our food. To eat with presence is not only a source of great pleasure, it is also an act of respect for the food and for your own body. It is a simple, yet profound, way to nourish yourself on all levels. By exploring the world through your senses in this way, you are bypassing the thinking mind. You are engaging with reality directly, without the filter of concepts and judgments. This is a powerful practice for calming the mind and for awakening to the beauty and richness of the present moment. Life is not an idea. It is a full-bodied, multi-sensory experience, and it is only available now. Let us now turn our attention to the nature of thought itself. We are so identified with our thoughts, so lost in the stream of our thinking, that we rarely stop to examine what a thought actually is. A thought is a fleeting, insubstantial event in consciousness. It is a wisp of language, an image, a fragment of memory. It has no inherent reality, no substance, no power of its own. The only power a thought has is the power you give it with your attention. and your belief. Imagine you are sitting by the side of a gently flowing river. The thoughts are like leaves, floating by on the surface of the water. Your practice is to simply sit on the bank and watch the leaves go by. You do not try to stop the river. You do not try to grab onto the leaves. You certainly do not jump into the river and get carried away by the current. You simply watch. Here comes a leaf of worry. You see it, you acknowledge it, and you let it float by. Here comes a leaf of memory. You see it, and you let it float by. Here comes a leaf of judgment. You see it, and you let it float by. You are the silent, unmoving witness on the riverbank. This practice of watching your thoughts without getting entangled in them is the key to mental freedom. You begin to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that is aware of the thoughts. This is a revolutionary shift in identity. It is like waking up from a dream. You have been so identified with the character in the dream that you have forgotten that you are the dreamer. When you realize you are the dreamer, the drama of the dream no longer has the same power over you. As you continue this practice, you will start to notice the impersonal nature of thought. Thoughts arise in the mind from a variety of sources, from your conditioning, from your environment, from the collective consciousness. They are not your thoughts in a personal sense. They are more like mental weather patterns, passing through the vast, open sky of your awareness. Sometimes the sky is clear and blue. Sometimes it is filled with dark, stormy clouds. But you are not the weather. You are the sky. The sky is not affected by the clouds. It is not damaged by the storm. It remains, in its essence, pure, open, and serene. This understanding frees you from the burden of trying to control your thoughts. The attempt to control thoughts is not only futile, it is counterproductive. It is like trying to flatten the waves of the ocean with an iron. The more you try, the more turbulent the water becomes. The path of wisdom is not to control the thoughts, but to develop a different relationship with them. It is to shift from being a prisoner of your thoughts to being a compassionate observer of them. When a difficult or painful thought arises, instead of pushing it away, you can meet it with a quality of gentle curiosity. You can say to yourself, "Ah, the thought of fear has arisen," or "Ah, the story of my inadequacy is playing again." By naming the thought, you create a space between you and it. You are no longer fused with it. You are seeing it as a temporary mental event, not as an absolute truth. This simple act of mindful labeling can be incredibly powerful in disarming the charge of negative thinking. You will also begin to notice the repetitive nature of your thinking. The mind tends to run in the same well-worn grooves, day after day. The same worries, the same regrets, the same judgments. It is like a broken record, playing the same sad song over and over. When you see this repetitive, mechanical nature of your thinking, you can no longer take it so seriously. You can develop a sense of humor about your own mind. You can see the absurdity of getting caught in the same old stories time and time again. This lightness, this sense of humor, is a sign of awakening. This practice of thought watching does not mean that you will never think again. Thinking is a useful and necessary tool for navigating the practical aspects of life. The goal is not to eliminate thought, but to end the tyranny of compulsive, unconscious thinking. It is to move from being a slave of your mind to being its master. It is to be able to use the tool of thought when you need it, and then to be able to put it down when you don't. Most of us have forgotten how to put it down. We are like a carpenter who cannot let go of his hammer, and so he goes to bed with it, eats with it, and tries to hug his children with it. It is not a very effective way to live. In the space that opens up when the mind becomes quiet, something new can emerge. This is the space of intuition, of creativity, of wisdom. This is the space where you can hear the subtle whispers of your heart. This is the space where you can connect with the deeper intelligence that is always guiding you. But you can only hear this guidance when the radio of the chattering mind is turned down. So, let us practice, again and again, this gentle, returning to the silence, to the stillness, to the spacious, loving awareness that is your true nature. Let us now turn the gentle light of our awareness onto the realm of relationships, for it is here that the practice of presence bears its most beautiful and transformative fruit. Our connections with others are often the source of our greatest joys and our deepest sorrows. When these relationships are governed by the egoic mind, they become a battlefield of needs, expectations, and resentments. We are not truly relating to the other person, but to our mental image of them, an image constructed from the bricks of past experiences and the mortar of future desires. This is not a relationship, it is a projection, and it is the source of endless conflict and disappointment. The path of presence invites us into a radically different way of relating, a way that is based not on projection, but on perception. It is the practice of meeting the other person anew in every moment, of letting go of the story of who they are and being open to the mystery of who they are now. People are not static objects. They are dynamic processes, constantly changing, constantly evolving. To love someone is to honor this process, to give them the space to be who they are, without the suffocating weight of your expectations. When you see a loved one, can you see them with fresh eyes, without the filter of your shared history? Can you listen to them with an open heart, without already knowing what they are going to say? This is the gift of presence, and it is the greatest gift you can offer another human being. Deep listening is the cornerstone of present relationships. It is a practice that is far more profound than simply hearing words. It is the act of offering your full, undivided attention to another, of creating a silent, spacious container in which they can express themselves without fear of judgment. When you listen with presence, you are not formulating your response while the other person is speaking. You are not filtering their words through your own opinions and beliefs. You are simply receiving. You are listening with your whole being, with your ears, with your eyes, with your heart. In this quality of listening, the other person feels seen, valued, and safe. This is the foundation of all true healing and all true intimacy. When conflict arises, as it inevitably does, presence is the key that can unlock it from the grip of the ego. The ego loves conflict. It thrives on being right, on proving the other person wrong, on the drama of blame and victimhood. A present response to conflict is not a reaction, but a conscious choice. You can feel the rising energy of anger or defensiveness in your body, and you can choose not to act on it. You can take a breath. You can create a space. In that space, you can access a deeper intelligence, a wiser response. You can choose to listen to the other person's pain, even if you don't agree with their story. You can choose to speak your own truth, but with kindness and respect, not with the intention to wound. You are no longer two egos at war, but two conscious beings seeking to understand each other. This practice of presence also transforms the relationship you have with yourself, which is the foundation for all your other relationships. Most of us are plagued by an inner critic, a relentless voice of self-judgment that undermines our peace and our confidence. We have become so identified with this voice that we believe it is who we are. But from the perspective of presence, you can see this voice for what it is: a conditioned, habitual pattern of thought. You are not the voice, you are the awareness that hears the voice. By simply observing the inner critic, without believing its pronouncements, you begin to withdraw your energy from it. It is like unplugging a machine. The voice may continue for a while out of habit, but without your belief, it has no power. In the space that is created, as the inner critic subsides, a new voice can emerge. This is the voice of self-compassion. It is the voice of a wise and loving friend, a friend who has been waiting patiently for you to stop torturing yourself. This voice does not judge you for your mistakes. It honors your humanity. It does not demand perfection. It celebrates your effort. It does not abandon you when you are in pain. It holds you with unconditional love. To cultivate this relationship with yourself, to become your own best friend, is the most empowering journey you can ever undertake. It is the end of loneliness. Let us now explore the nature of suffering. All human beings suffer. It is an inescapable part of the human condition. But the wisdom traditions teach us that there is a crucial distinction between pain and suffering. Pain is the raw, unavoidable sensory and emotional experience of life. The pain of illness, of loss, of disappointment. Suffering is the mental and emotional layer that we add on top of the pain through our resistance, our stories, our judgments. Suffering is pain multiplied by resistance. The equation is simple. Suffering equals pain x resistance. While we may not always be able to control the pain, we can learn to reduce our resistance, and in doing so, we can dramatically reduce our suffering. Presence is the art of minimizing resistance. It is the practice of meeting our pain with a soft, open, and accepting awareness. When a painful feeling arises, be it sadness, fear, or anger, the conditioned response is to tense up, to push it away, to distract ourselves. This resistance is what turns the pain into suffering. It is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes a tremendous amount of energy, and the moment you let go, the ball shoots up with even greater force. The path of presence is to simply allow the beach ball to float on the surface of the water. You allow the painful feeling to be there, in the vast, open space of your awareness, without needing it to go away. When you meet your pain in this way, with this quality of non-resistant, loving attention, it begins to transform. You are no longer fueling it with the energy of your resistance. You are allowing it to run its natural course, to arise, to exist, and to pass away. You are not the feeling, you are the space in which the feeling is happening. This is not a passive resignation. It is an act of profound courage. It is the courage to feel, to be with what is, without the need to escape. In this courageous embrace, you discover a strength and a peace that you never knew you had. You discover that you are larger than your pain. This practice is particularly powerful when dealing with the pain of the past. The past does not exist, except as a collection of thoughts and memories arising in the present moment. But for many of us, these memories are so charged with pain that they continue to dominate our present reality. We are living in a ghost story of our own making. To heal the past, you do not need to analyze it endlessly or to find someone to blame. You simply need to meet the painful memories with the light of your presence as they arise now. When a painful memory comes up, you feel the emotional charge in your body, you see the story in your mind, and you hold it all in a space of compassionate awareness. You are not trying to change the memory. You are changing your relationship to it. You are taking it out of the darkness of unconsciousness and into the healing light of your presence. In the absence of resistance, in the space of pure presence, what remains? What is the natural state of a consciousness that is no longer at war with itself, no longer lost in the labyrinth of time? What remains is joy, not the fleeting, conditional happiness that depends on external circumstances, but a deep, quiet, and unconditional joy of being. It is the simple joy of existence itself. It is the feeling of I am, prior to any story, any problem, any identity. This joy is not something you have to acquire or achieve. It is your birthright. It is the very nature of your own being, waiting to be discovered beneath the layers of mental noise and emotional turmoil. This joy of being is not loud or dramatic. It is a subtle, background sense of peace and aliveness. It is the feeling of being at home in your own skin, at home in the world. It is a quiet contentment that is not dependent on anything changing. You can be sitting in traffic. You can be washing the dishes. You can be facing a difficult challenge and still be in touch with this underlying field of joy. It is the silent music that is always playing in the background of your life. The practice of presence is simply the act of learning to tune your inner ear to this music. Is less than hashon. Second pause is greater than. How do we access this joy? We do not access it by seeking it. The seeking itself is what takes us away from it. We access it by letting go of what is obscuring it. We let go of our resistance to the present moment. We let go of our identification with the thinking mind. We let go of our stories of past and future. And in that letting go, in that surrender to what is, the joy that is already here reveals itself. It is like the sun that is always shining, even when it is obscured by clouds. The practice is not to create the sun, but to allow the clouds to disperse. One of the most powerful ways to connect with the joy of being is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a quality of attention that focuses on what is present rather than on what is absent. It is a conscious choice to see the abundance that is already in your life, rather than dwelling on what you lack. Even in the midst of great difficulty, there is always something for which to be grateful. The breath in your lungs, the warmth of the sun, the smile of a stranger, the taste of clean water. By consciously directing your attention to these simple gifts, you begin to shift your entire state of consciousness. You begin to resonate with the frequency of abundance, and in doing so, you attract more of it into your life. Another gateway to the joy of being is through the appreciation of beauty. Beauty is all around us, but we are often too lost in our thoughts to notice it. The intricate pattern of a leaf, the vibrant colors of a sunset, the sound of birdsong at dawn, the innocent face of a sleeping child. When you perceive beauty, you are pulled out of the chattering mind and into a state of pure presence, of silent awe. In that moment, the ego dissolves. There is no you appreciating the beauty. There is only the beauty itself and the silent, spacious awareness in which it is perceived. To cultivate an eye for beauty is to cultivate a heart for joy. Creativity is also a profound expression of the joy of being. When you are engaged in a creative act, whether it is painting, writing, gardening, or cooking, and you are doing it not for any external reward, but for the sheer love of it, you enter a state of flow. In this state, time disappears. The sense of a separate self dissolves. There is only the joyful dance of creation. This is the consciousness of being, expressing itself in the world of doing. To find a creative outlet that you love and to engage in it regularly is a powerful way to nourish your soul and to connect with the deep wellspring of joy that lies within you. Ultimately, the joy of being is found in the simple, ordinary moments of life. It is not reserved for special occasions or peak experiences. It is here, now, in this very moment. It is in the feeling of the warm water on your hands as you wash the dishes. It is in the sound of the rain tapping on the window pane. It is in the shared laughter with a friend. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. And the key to living this mystery with grace and joy is to be fully present for it, to show up for your own life with your whole heart in this one eternal moment of now. As our journey together for tonight begins to draw to a close, let us rest for a few moments in the silence and stillness that we have cultivated. Let go of all the concepts, all the ideas, all the practices that we have explored. Let go of the effort to be present, to be accepting, to be joyful. Simply be. Rest in the silent, spacious, and loving awareness that you are. This awareness is your true nature. It is the home to which you can always return. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, a silent lullaby rocking you into a state of deep and profound rest. Feel the weight of your body, completely supported, completely safe. There is nothing for you to do right now, nowhere for you to go, no one for you to be. You are free, free from the past, free from the future, free from the endless demands of the ego. You are resting in the heart of being, in the timeless, peaceful, and radiant reality of the now. This peace is not something you have earned or achieved. It is a gift. It is the gift of your own true nature, revealing itself to you. You can carry this peace with you as you drift into the world of dreams and as you awaken into a new day. It is always here, waiting for you, in the silence between your thoughts, in the stillness beneath the surface of your life. It is your greatest strength, your deepest wisdom, and your most precious treasure is less than, Hashon, second pause, is greater than. As you lie here, on the threshold of sleep, know that you are whole, you are complete, and you are deeply loved. The universe is holding you in its gentle embrace. All is well. Allow yourself to surrender completely to the healing power of rest. Allow the body to become heavy, the mind to become quiet, and the heart to be at peace. And as you drift off, may your dreams be filled with light, with love, and with the sweet, silent melody of your own being. Let us now expand our awareness from the inner world of our own being to the vast, interconnected web of life in which we are all participants. The illusion of the separate self, the ego, not only creates conflict within our own minds and in our personal relationships, but it also disconnects us from the larger family of all beings and from the earth itself. We see ourselves as isolated fragments in a hostile or indifferent universe. This perception of separation is the root of a deep, existential loneliness, and it is the driving force behind our exploitation of the planet and of each other. Presence dissolves this illusion. When you are truly present, you begin to perceive the subtle, invisible threads that connect you to everything else. You feel your connection to the tree that is producing the oxygen you are breathing. You feel your connection to the farmer who grew the food you are eating. You feel your connection to the person on the other side of the world who is looking up at the same moon. You realize that you are not a separate drop, but a wave in the great ocean of consciousness. Your personal well-being is inextricably linked to the well-being of all. This is not a philosophical concept. It is a felt reality that emerges in the stillness of presence. This realization gives rise to a natural and spontaneous compassion. Compassion is not a moral duty or a sentimental feeling. It is the logical and emotional response to the recognition of oneness. When you know, on a deep level, that you are connected to all beings, you cannot help but wish for their happiness and for the alleviation of their suffering. Their suffering is your suffering. Their joy is your joy. This is the heart of the Bodhisattva ideal in Buddhism, the enlightened being who postpones their own final nirvana in order to stay and help all other beings to awaken. It is a love that is born not of personal attachment, but of universal understanding. This sense of interconnectedness also transforms our relationship with the earth. We are not masters of the earth, here to dominate and exploit it for our own ends. We are children of the earth, utterly dependent on its generosity and its delicate balance. To be present is to walk on the earth with reverence and respect. It is to see the sacred in a simple stone, in a drop of water, in a blade of grass. It is to listen to the wisdom of the wind and the trees. When you are rooted in this connection, you naturally become a steward of the planet. You act in ways that honor and protect the web of life, not because you feel guilty or obligated, but because you are acting out of love for your larger self. Krus is less than Heisho number, is greater than. Let us now speak of the wisdom of not knowing. In our information-obsessed culture, we are taught to value knowledge, certainty, and expertise. We are uncomfortable with ambiguity, with mystery, with the phrase, "I don't know." The egoic mind wants to have all the answers. It wants to have a neat, coherent map of reality that it can use to navigate and control life. But life is far too vast, too complex, and too mysterious to be contained in any mental map. The attempt to know everything is a source of great stress and a significant barrier to true wisdom. True wisdom is not about having all the answers. It is about being comfortable with not having them. It is about resting in a state of open, curious, and humble not knowing. This is not a state of ignorance. It is a state of profound intelligence. It is the intelligence that is open to new information, that is willing to be surprised, that is not trapped in the rigid categories of its own past learning. When you are in a state of not knowing, you are teachable. Life itself becomes your teacher, and every moment is a new lesson. This is the state of beginner's mind, a concept central to Zen Buddhism. The beginner's mind is empty, free of the preconceptions and opinions of the expert. It is open to infinite possibilities. The expert's mind is full, and therefore closed to anything that does not fit its existing framework. To cultivate beginner's mind is to be willing to let go of what you think you know, and to approach every situation, every person, every moment, with a fresh and open curiosity. What would it be like to listen to your partner as if you have never heard them before? What would it be like to look at your own face in the mirror as if you were seeing a stranger? This is the path to seeing the world and yourself in a new and miraculous light. The state of not knowing is the gateway to creativity and intuition. The rational mind can only operate on the basis of what it already knows. It can rearrange old information into new patterns, but it cannot create something truly new. True originality, true flashes of insight, arise from a deeper place, from the stillness of not knowing. It is when you let go of the struggle to find the answer, when you surrender to the mystery, that the answer often appears, as if by grace. This is why so many great artists and scientists have spoken of their most important discoveries, coming to them in moments of relaxation, of daydreaming, of not trying. To embrace not knowing is also to embrace the uncertainty of life. The ego wants security. It wants to know what is going to happen next. It creates elaborate plans and insurance policies to protect itself from the unknown. But the unknown is where all possibility lives. The future is, by its very nature, uncertain. To fight this uncertainty is to be in a constant state of anxiety. To embrace it is to be in a state of freedom and adventure. It is to trust in your own ability to respond wisely and creatively to whatever life brings you. It is to have faith not in a particular outcome, but in the process of life itself. As you rest here, on the edge of sleep, allow yourself to sink into this delicious state of not knowing. Let go of the need to figure anything out. Let go of the need to solve your problems. Let go of the need to know who you are or where you are going. For tonight, just rest in the mystery. Rest in the vast, silent, and intelligent space of pure consciousness, from which all things arise and to which all things return. There is a deep peace in this surrender. It is the peace of the wave that realizes it is the ocean. This brings us to the very nature of consciousness itself. What is this awareness that is looking out through your eyes and listening through your ears? Who is the I that is aware of these words? The spiritual traditions of the world are unanimous in their answer. Your true nature is not the body, not the mind, not the personality. Your true nature is pure, formless, and timeless consciousness. You are not in the universe is in you. You are the silent, spacious awareness in which the entire cosmos is unfolding. This is not a belief to be adopted, but a reality to be experienced. You can have a direct taste of this reality right now. Simply become aware of the awareness itself. Notice the silent, still, and unchanging background against which all the changing contents of your experience, your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, are appearing. This background awareness is you. It has no form, no location, no beginning, and no end. It is the one constant in the ever-changing flux of your life. It was here when you were a child, and it will be here at the moment of your death. It is the unborn and the undying. To realize your identity as this pure consciousness is the ultimate liberation. It is the end of the fear of death, for you realize that what you truly are cannot die. It is the end of the search for happiness, for you realize that you are the happiness you have been seeking. It is the end of loneliness, for you realize that you are one with all of life. This is not the annihilation of the individual self, but its fulfillment. The individual personality continues to exist, but it is no longer the center of your universe. It becomes a beloved and unique expression of the one universal consciousness, a vehicle through which the one can experience the world. This realization is often called awakening or enlightenment. It is not a mystical or superhuman state, reserved for a few special individuals. It is the natural state of every human being, once the clouds of the egoic mind have been allowed to disperse. It is a return to the simplicity, the innocence, and the joy of your own being. It is the most ordinary and the most extraordinary discovery a human being can make. So, as you drift deeper and deeper into rest, let go of all your limited ideas about who you are. Let go of your name, your history, your roles, your problems. Let all the labels fall away. Rest as the nameless, formless, and pure awareness that you are. Rest as the silent witness of the dream of life. In this resting, there is a peace that is beyond all understanding. a love that is beyond all measure, and a joy that has no cause and no end. This is your true home. Welcome back. And now, there is nothing left to do but to surrender completely to the profound and healing power of sleep. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind knows how to be quiet. Your heart knows how to be at peace. Trust in this innate wisdom. Let go of all control. Allow yourself to be carried into the vast, silent, and nourishing ocean of deep sleep. And as you do, know that you are safe, you are held, and you are loved. May your sleep be deep, your dreams be sweet, and may you awaken refreshed, renewed, and ever more aware of the radiant, peaceful, and joyful being that you truly are. Let us now, with gentle and compassionate attention, turn our focus to the structure of the mind that keeps us from the peace of the present moment. This structure is often called the ego. The ego is not a monolithic entity, but a complex and deeply ingrained set of mental and emotional patterns. It is the conditioned mind, the voice in the head, the sense of a separate self that is defined by its past and is constantly seeking to enhance itself in the future. To understand the ego is not to fight it, but to bring the light of your awareness to its mechanisms. For it is only in the light of awareness that its grip can begin to loosen. The ego is fundamentally a survival mechanism, a product of our evolutionary history. In its original function, it was designed to help us navigate a dangerous world, to distinguish between me and not me, safe and unsafe. But in the modern world, for most of us, this survival mechanism has gone into overdrive. It is no longer just protecting us from physical threats. It is constantly trying to protect and enhance our psychological sense of self. It does this through identification. The ego identifies with things, with your body, your possessions, your job, your social status, your beliefs, your relationships, your life story. It says, "This is me," and from this identification, a whole world of suffering is born. When you are identified with something, you derive your sense of self from it. This means that you are in a constant state of fear, for everything in the world of form is impermanent. If you are identified with your youth and beauty, you will suffer as your body ages. If you are identified with your wealth, you will live in constant fear of losing it. If you are identified with your role as a parent or a partner, you will suffer when those roles change or end. The ego's project of building a solid and permanent self out of impermanent things is doomed to failure, and this failure is the source of all anxiety. Presence is the discovery that you are not the things you identify with. You are the timeless, formless awareness that is aware of those things. One of the ego's primary strategies for self-enhancement is comparison. The ego is constantly measuring itself against others. Am I smarter, more successful, more attractive, more spiritual than them? Or am I less? This game of comparison is a game you can never win. There will always be someone who is better than you in some way, and someone who is worse. To live in the world of comparison is to live on a roller coaster of pride and insecurity, of superiority and inferiority. It is to be completely disconnected from the simple, quiet dignity of your own being, which is beyond all comparison. When you are truly present, the need to compare yourself to others simply falls away. You are content to be who you are, and you allow others to be who they are. Another favorite activity of the ego is complaining. Complaining is the ego's way of making itself right and the world wrong. When you complain, you are reinforcing your sense of victimhood, your sense that you are being treated unfairly by life, by others, by circumstances, This sense of victimhood can be perversely pleasurable for the ego, as it gives it a strong, albeit negative, sense of identity. To be present is to take responsibility for your inner state. It is to recognize that while you may not be able to control the external situation, you can always choose your response to it. Instead of complaining about what is wrong, you can either accept the situation as it is, or you can take constructive action to change it. Complaining is a form of powerlessness. Presence is the reclaiming of your power. Closely related to complaining is the egoic pattern of resentment. Resentment is the emotional residue of past grievances that you have been unwilling to let go of. It is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. The person you are holding a grudge against may be living their life happily, completely unaware of your inner turmoil. You are the only one who is suffering. To hold on to resentment is to give someone from your past the power to control your present happiness. The ego loves to do this because the story of how you were wronged is a powerful component of its identity. Forgiveness is the antidote to resentment, and forgiveness is, at its core, an act of presence. It is the choice to release the past and to return your energy to the only place where life is happening, the here and now. Let us speak now of a deeper and more entrenched aspect of the egoic mind, what some have called the pain body. The pain body is a semi-autonomous energy field within you that is made up of the accumulated emotional pain of your past. It is the residue of every strong negative emotion that you have ever experienced and that you have not been able to fully feel, accept, and release. This old, unprocessed emotion does not simply disappear. It coalesces into an energy field that lives in the cells of your body and in the depths of your psyche. The pain body has its own primitive intelligence, and its primary goal is survival. And for the pain body, survival means getting you to generate more pain. When the pain body is dormant, you may forget it is there, but when it is triggered by an event or a thought that resonates with its particular flavor of old pain, it awakens and takes you over. It rises up and possesses your mind, your emotions, and your body. Your thinking becomes intensely negative. Your emotions become dark and destructive. You may find yourself picking fights with loved ones, engaging in self-sabotaging behaviors, or sinking into a deep depression. When you are in the grip of the pain body, you are not yourself. You are being lived by a parasitic energy field that is feeding on your negativity, and you are creating more pain for yourself and for others, which is exactly what the pain body wants. The pain body can be individual, and it can also be collective. There is a female pain body, which carries the accumulated pain of millennia of subjugation. There is a German pain body, which carries the pain of the Nazi era. There are pain bodies associated with different races, religions, and nationalities that have experienced great suffering. These collective pain bodies can be triggered on a mass scale, leading to outbreaks of violence, war, and genocide. The history of humanity is, in many ways, the history of the collective pain body acting itself out, again and again. How do you free yourself from the pain body? You cannot fight it. To fight it is to create more negativity, which is its food. You cannot reason with it. It is a pre-rational energy field. The only way to dissolve the pain body is with the light of your presence. When you feel the pain body beginning to awaken, when you feel that familiar wave of dark emotion rising up, your practice is to not become it. Your practice is to be the silent, spacious awareness that witnesses it. You say to yourself, "Ah, the pain body is active." You feel the energy in your body. the tightness in your chest, the fire in your belly. You feel it without resistance. You do not act on it. You do not get lost in the negative thoughts that it is generating. You simply hold it all in a space of calm, non-judgmental, and loving attention. This is the practice of disidentification. You are withdrawing your identification from the pain body. You are no longer the pain. You are the awareness that is aware of the pain. In doing this, you are cutting off the pain body's food supply. It feeds on your unconscious identification with it. When you become conscious, when you become the witness, the pain body can no longer renew itself. The old emotional energy is gradually transmuted into presence. It is like a dark, icy block of frozen energy that is being brought into the warmth of the sun. It melts. It may take time, and it may be uncomfortable, but every time you meet the pain body with presence instead of unconscious reaction, you are becoming freer. This brings us to the nature of true happiness. The ego believes that happiness is something you can get from the world. It believes that if you can just arrange your life circumstances in the right way, if you can get the right partner, the right job, the right house, the right amount of money, then you will be happy. This is the great illusion. The world of form is, by its very nature, impermanent and unstable. To seek lasting happiness in a world of constant change is to set yourself up for a life of frustration and disappointment. The happiness that the world can offer is, at best, a fleeting and superficial pleasure. It is not the deep and abiding peace that your soul is longing for. True happiness, true peace, is not something you can find in the world. It is something you find within yourself. It is not something that comes and goes with changing circumstances. It is the very nature of your own being, the background of silent, spacious awareness that is always here, no matter what is happening in the foreground of your life. The spiritual journey is not a journey to acquire this happiness, but a journey to remove the obstacles that are obscuring it. The primary obstacle is your identification with the egoic mind. When you are no longer seeking happiness from the world, a profound shift happens in your life. You are no longer a needy fragment, trying to complete yourself through people, possessions, or experiences. You are already whole, and from this place of wholeness, you can engage with the world in a new way. You can enjoy the pleasures of the world without being addicted to them. You can love people without needing them to make you happy. You can pursue goals without your sense of self being dependent on achieving them. Your doing is no longer driven by a sense of lack, but is an expression of the fullness that you already are. This is the state of enlightened action, or what in the Eastern traditions is called karma yoga. It is the state of being intensely active in the world, but with an inner state of complete non-attachment. You give your best to every situation. You act with love and intelligence, but you are not attached to the fruits of your action. You find your joy not in the outcome, but in the quality of consciousness you bring to the action itself. Success and failure become irrelevant. You are already at peace, and your action is simply the overflow of that peace. In this state, you discover that the universe is not hostile or indifferent, but is fundamentally friendly. When you are aligned with the present moment, when you are not resisting what is, you find that life itself begins to support you in surprising ways. Synchronicities happen. The right people and opportunities appear, as if by magic. You are no longer swimming against the current of life. You are flowing with it. You are a conscious participant in the creative unfolding of the cosmos. This is not a state of passivity. It is a state of surrendered, intelligent, and joyful co-creation with the whole. So, as you rest here, allow yourself to let go of the great and stressful project of the ego. Let go of the need to be someone, to achieve something, to prove yourself. Let go of the story of your life, with all its triumphs and its failures. Let go of the burden of the past and the anxiety of the future. For these few moments, simply rest in the naked, simple, and profound reality of your own being. You are not the voice in your head. You are not the pain body. You are not your history. You are the silent, spacious, and loving awareness in which all of these things are happening. This awareness is your true nature. It is peace itself. It is joy itself. It is love itself. And it is who you have always been and who you will always be. Let us now venture into the very heart of the mystery, to the nature of reality itself. We perceive a world of solid, separate objects, a world of time and space, of cause and effect. This is the world as presented to us by our five senses and interpreted by our conceptual mind. It is a practical and useful map for navigating our daily lives. But the great wisdom traditions, as well as the discoveries of modern physics, suggest that this map is not the territory. They point to a deeper, stranger, and far more wondrous reality that lies just beneath the surface of our ordinary perception. From the perspective of presence, as the chattering mind becomes quiet, you begin to perceive the world in a new way. The hard edges of things begin to soften. The sense of separation between you and the world begins to dissolve. You start to perceive a subtle, underlying aliveness in everything. The tree, the stone, the chair you are sitting on, they are no longer inert, dead objects, but vibrant fields of energy, shimmering with a quiet, inner light. You begin to see that the world is not made of dead matter, but of living consciousness. This is the perception of the world as a dream. When you are lost in a dream at night, the dream world seems completely real. The people, the places, the events, they all have a convincing solidity. It is only upon waking that you realize it was all a projection of your own mind. The spiritual awakening is a similar process. It is the realization that the world of our ordinary, egoic consciousness is also a kind of dream. It is a consensual trance, a collective hypnosis that we have all been conditioned to believe is the ultimate reality. To awaken is not to leave the world, but to see through its dreamlike nature. In this awakened perception, you realize that everything is a manifestation of one single, indivisible reality. The ancient Indian sages called this reality Brahman. The Chinese Taoists called it the Tao. Modern physicists might call it the unified field. The name does not matter. What matters is the direct, experiential recognition that you are not separate from this one reality. You are a unique and precious expression of it, a way for the universe to know itself. The sense of being an isolated ego, a lonely fragment, is revealed to be a profound illusion. This leads us to the Buddhist teaching of emptiness, or shunyata. This is perhaps the most misunderstood of all spiritual concepts. Emptiness does not mean nothingness. It does not mean that the world does not exist. It means that the world is empty of a separate, independent, and permanent existence. Everything arises in dependence on everything else. A flower cannot exist without the sun, the soil, the rain, the bee. A human being cannot exist without their parents, their culture, the air they breathe, the food they eat. Everything is interconnected in a vast and intricate web of causality. Nothing has a standalone, separate self. To see the emptiness of things is to see their miraculous, interdependent nature. It is to be filled with a sense of awe and wonder at the intricate dance of creation. It is also to be freed from the grip of attachment. When you see that everything is transient, that everything is a fleeting process, you can no longer cling to things as a source of security. You learn to hold the world lightly, to love it without possessing it, to appreciate it without demanding that it last forever. You are in the world, but not of it. This understanding of reality brings us to the end of all seeking. The spiritual search is driven by the ego's sense of lack, by the feeling that there is something missing, that you are not yet whole, that you need to find something outside of yourself to be happy and at peace. You may seek it in relationships, in success, in knowledge, in religion, in spiritual experiences. The search can take many forms, but the underlying dynamic is the same: the belief that happiness is in the future, that it is somewhere else. But if you are already one with the one reality, if you are already a perfect expression of the whole, then what is there to seek? If the peace you are looking for is the very nature of your own being, then where do you need to go to find it? The spiritual search is a paradox. The very act of searching is what keeps you from finding what you are looking for. It is like a dog chasing its own tail. The more it runs, the more the tail seems to elude it. The moment it stops running, it realizes the tail has been there all along. The end of seeking is not a state of resignation or apathy. It is the beginning of a truly authentic and joyful life. When you are no longer trying to get anything from the world, you are free to simply give. When you are no longer trying to prove yourself, you are free to simply be yourself. When you are no longer trying to find God, you are free to see God in every face, in every leaf, in every moment. The end of seeking is the beginning of finding, and what you find is that you never lost anything in the first place. This does not mean that you stop growing or learning. The end of seeking is not the end of the journey. It is the end of the frantic, anxious, and ego-driven nature of the journey. The journey continues, but it is now a joyful and effortless unfolding, a dance of discovery, a celebration of the infinite mystery of life. You continue to practice, you continue to learn, you continue to serve, but you do so not out of a sense of lack, but out of a sense of fullness. You do it for the sheer love of it. So what does it look like to live an awakened life in a practical, day-to-day way? It is not about walking around in a blissful trance, disconnected from the realities of the world. It is about being fully human, but in a new way. It is about bringing the light of presence into every corner of your life. In your work, you are no longer driven by the need for recognition or the fear of failure. You find your fulfillment in the work itself, in bringing your full attention and care to whatever you are doing. Your work becomes a form of meditation, a way of serving the whole. You are able to be both focused and relaxed, both effective and at ease. In your relationships, you are no longer playing the egoic games of control and manipulation. You are able to meet others with an open and loving presence, to listen deeply, and to speak your truth with kindness. You are not trying to change anyone. You are simply offering the gift of your awareness, which is the greatest catalyst for healing and growth. As you face the challenges of aging, you do so with grace and acceptance. You are not identified with the body, so you are not terrified of its inevitable decline. You see the beauty in every stage of life, the wisdom that comes with experience, the freedom that comes with letting go of youthful ambitions. You are able to be a source of wisdom and compassion for those who are younger, a living example of how to age with dignity and peace. And when the time comes for you to face your own death, you are able to do so without fear. You know that what you truly are, the pure, formless consciousness, cannot die. Death is not an ending, but a transition, a return to the source from which you came. You are able to let go of this life with gratitude for the journey and with a sense of peaceful curiosity about what comes next. To live an awakened life is to be ready to die at any moment, and therefore to be able to live every moment to the fullest. This may seem like a lofty and unattainable goal, but it is not. It is your birthright. It is the most natural way of being, and the path to it is not complex. It is simply the path of returning, again and again, to the present moment. It is the path of feeling your breath, of inhabiting your body, of watching your thoughts without believing them, of meeting your emotions with acceptance, of opening your senses to the world. It is a path of small steps, of gentle reminders, of compassionate self-correction, and it is a path that is available to you right here, right now. So, as we bring our final journey to a close, let us once again come back to the simplicity of this moment. Let go of all the grand ideas, all the spiritual concepts. Let go of the idea of awakening, of enlightenment, of a future state of perfection. Let it all go and just be here. Be here with the feeling of your body resting. Be here with the sound of the silence. Be here with the gentle, rhythmic pulse of your own aliveness. This is all that is ever required. This is the beginning and the end of the path. This is home. There is a deep and profound rest that becomes available to you when you stop trying to get anywhere else. It is the rest of a being that has come home to itself. It is the peace of the river that has merged with the ocean. It is the silence of the mountain peak that is touched by nothing but the sky. Allow yourself to sink into this rest. It is your greatest healer, your wisest teacher, and your most faithful friend. Let it hold you. Let it soothe you. Let it remind you of the simple, unshakable, and radiant truth of who you are. And now, as the final words fade into the silence from which they came, there is nothing left to do, nothing left to understand. There is only the gentle, loving, and peaceful presence of your own being. Allow this presence to be your guide as you drift into the nourishing darkness of sleep. May it be a sleep that is deep and dreamless, a return to the source of all things. And may you awaken from this sleep refreshed in body, clear in mind, and peaceful in heart, ready to meet the new day with the grace, the wisdom, and the love that are your very essence. All is well. Everything is unfolding in its own perfect time. Rest now. Rest in the deep, deep peace of your own beautiful being. Let us now, in these final moments of our journey together, explore the very essence of rest. In our restless culture, we tend to see rest as a mere absence of activity, a necessary pause to recharge the batteries so that we can return to the more important business of doing. But in the great wisdom traditions, rest is seen as something far more profound. It is a spiritual practice in itself. It is a gateway to the deepest truths of our being. It is a conscious surrender, a letting go, a return to the source. Deep, conscious rest is not the opposite of activity. It is the ground from which all wise and compassionate activity arises. To truly rest is to let go of all effort. This includes the effort to rest. How often have you tried to fall asleep, only to find that the very effort to do so keeps you awake? The mind that is trying to achieve a state of rest is, by definition, not a restful mind. True rest cannot be achieved through effort. It can only be allowed. It is an act of grace, a surrender. It is the gentle release of the doer, the letting go of the one who is trying to control the experience. It is the simple, trusting, and profound recognition that you do not need to do anything to be at peace. Peace is your nature. You only need to stop doing all the things that obscure it. Imagine a small, tightly clenched fist. This fist is the egoic mind, the sense of a separate self, constantly striving, grasping, resisting. It is a state of chronic tension. To rest is to gently, finger by finger, allow that fist to open. You are not forcing it open. You are simply withdrawing the energy of clenching. And as the fist opens, what do you find inside? Nothing. An open space. And in that open space, you find everything. You find the peace, the stillness, the connection that you were unknowingly seeking through all your striving. The open hand can receive. The clenched fist cannot. This is the great paradox of the spiritual path. You cannot achieve a state of surrender. You can only surrender. You cannot force yourself to let go. You can only let go. And when is the moment to let go? The moment is always now. In this very moment, as you lie here, can you let go of the need for this experience to be any different than it is? Can you let go of the hope for a deeper state of relaxation? Can you let go of the memory of how you slept last night, or the worry about how you will feel tomorrow? Can you simply allow this moment to be exactly as it is, without any demand, without any judgment? This is the essence of true rest. Let us explore this rest through the body. Your body is a wise and ancient creature, and it knows the art of rest far better than your thinking mind does. But it has been conditioned by the mind to hold tension, to be in a constant state of readiness, of fight or flight. We can gently, lovingly, invite the body to remember its natural state of ease. Let us begin with the feet. Bring your awareness to your feet. You do not need to visualize them or think about them. Simply feel them from the inside out. Feel the life, the energy in your feet. And now, give your feet permission to rest completely. Let go of any holding, any tension. Imagine them becoming heavy, soft, and warm, sinking into the surface beneath them. Your feet have carried you through your life. Now, they can rest. Now, bring that same quality of gentle, allowing awareness to your legs. Feel your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs. Feel the bones, the muscles, the skin, and invite your legs to let go. Release the subtle, unconscious tension that you may be holding there. Your legs are your connection to the earth, your power to move through the world. For now, that power can be dormant. For now, they can be completely at rest, heavy and deeply relaxed. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, simply rest. Bring your awareness now to your hips and your pelvis, the center of your body's gravity. This is an area where we often store a great deal of unconscious tension and emotion. Do not try to analyze it or release it. Simply bring the light of your gentle, accepting awareness to this area. Feel the weight of your pelvis, its solid connection to the surface you are lying on, and give it permission to soften, to open, to release. Imagine a warm, healing energy pooling in this area, melting away any tightness, any holding. Let there be a deep, profound letting go in the very core of your body. Let this wave of relaxation now move up into your torso. Feel your lower back, your abdomen. Let the belly be soft. When we are anxious, we often clench the muscles of our abdomen. As you allow these muscles to soften, you are sending a powerful signal to your nervous system that you are safe, that all is well. Feel the gentle, rhythmic rise and fall of your belly with each breath. This is the rhythm of peace, the lullaby of your own body. Rest in this rhythm. Let it soothe you. Let it carry you into a deeper and deeper state of ease. Bring your awareness to your chest, the home of your heart. Feel the subtle movement here as you breathe. Let this area be open and soft. We often build an armor around our heart to protect ourselves from pain. In this moment of safety and peace, you can allow that armor to melt away. Feel your own heart beating with a steady, faithful rhythm. It is the drumbeat of your life. And beneath that physical beat, you may sense the silent, spacious presence of your spiritual heart, a place of unconditional love and boundless compassion. Rest in your heart. It is the safest home you will ever know. Now, let the relaxation flow into your hands and your arms. Feel your fingers, your palms, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your upper arms. Your hands are your connection to the world of doing, of making, of holding. For now, they can be completely empty. Let the fingers curl softly. Let the hands become heavy and warm. Let go of the need to control, to grasp, to fix anything. In this moment, there is nothing to fix. Everything is already perfect in its own being. Simply allow your arms and hands to be at rest, utterly and completely. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and your neck. This is an area where we carry so much of the burden of our lives, the weight of our responsibilities, the tension of our worries. Consciously, gently, invite your shoulders to drop, to release, to melt away from your ears. Imagine the weight of the world simply dissolving from your shoulders, flowing down your arms and out of your fingertips. Let your neck be soft and free, allowing the head to be perfectly balanced and supported. There is nothing you need to hold up right now. You are completely supported. Let go and be held. Finally, bring your awareness to your head, the command center of the egoic mind. Let this wave of relaxation soothe the very instrument of your thinking. Feel your jaw. Let it be slack and easy. We clench our jaw when we are determined, when we are resisting. Let go of all determination. Let go of all resistance. Feel your tongue, your cheeks, your ears. Let them all be soft. Feel the tiny, subtle muscles around your eyes. Let them release completely. Imagine your eyes sinking back into their sockets, deeply at rest. And now, feel your forehead. Let it be smooth, wide, and open. Imagine all the worry lines, all the frowns, simply being smoothed away by a gentle, loving hand. And now, bring your awareness to the brain itself, inside the skull. Imagine the frantic, electrical activity of your thinking mind beginning to slow down, to quiet down. Imagine the spaces between your thoughts becoming longer, wider, more peaceful. You do not need to stop your thoughts. You are simply creating a vast, silent, and peaceful space around them. The thoughts are like clouds, floating through the infinite, clear blue sky of your own awareness. You are the sky, not the clouds. Rest as the sky, vast, open, silent, and at peace. Your entire body is now in a state of deep and profound rest. It is a state of surrender, of letting go, of trust. Feel the wholeness of your body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, as a single, unified field of peaceful, vibrating energy. You are not just a body, you are the loving awareness that is inhabiting this body, that is giving it life. Feel the deep, intimate connection between the awareness that you are and the body that you have. It is a sacred marriage, a dance of consciousness and form. From this place of deep physical rest, you may notice that your emotional world also becomes quieter. The waves of feeling that may have been tossing you about begin to subside. The ocean of your emotional life becomes calm, placid, and clear. If any feelings do arise, you can simply allow them to be there, like ripples on the surface of the vast, deep ocean of your being. You do not need to analyze them, to judge them, or to push them away. You are the ocean. You are vast enough to hold any wave, any ripple, without being disturbed. And in this stillness of body and heart, you can begin to touch the very source of your being. You can begin to sense the silent, invisible, and yet ever-present reality of your own consciousness. It is the light that is looking out through your eyes. It is the silence that is hearing these words. It is the stillness in which the entire universe is unfolding. It has no name, no form, no beginning, and no end. It is the one, indivisible reality that is dreaming the dream of your life. To rest in this awareness is the ultimate rest. It is the end of all seeking, the end of all fear. It is coming home. There is nothing you need to do to be this awareness. You are already it. You have never been anything else. The only thing that has obscured this truth is your own mind, your own identification with the fleeting thoughts and feelings that pass through you. As you learn to rest as the witness, as the silent, spacious background, you are simply reclaiming your own natural state. You are waking up from the dream of being a separate, limited, and mortal self, and realizing that you are the dreamer, you are the dream, and you are the consciousness in which the dream is happening. So let go now. Let go completely. Let go of the story of you. Let go of the past. Let go of the future. Let go of every concept, every belief, every idea you have ever had about yourself and about the world. Let go of the one who is letting go and just be. Be the silent, loving, and peaceful presence that you are. Be the space in which the breath breathes itself, the heart beats itself, and the world dreams itself into being. There is nothing to do. There is only this simple, profound, and miraculous moment of being. And in this being, there is a love that is beyond all understanding. It is not the personal, conditional love of the ego. It is a vast, impersonal, and unconditional love that is the very fabric of reality. It is the love that holds the stars in their courses and that grows the flower from the seed. It is the love that is beating your heart and breathing your breath. You are not separate from this love. You are made of it. You are an expression of it. To rest in your own being is to rest in this love. Allow it to hold you. Allow it to heal you. Allow it to dissolve all your fears, all your doubts, all your sorrows. You are love, and you are beloved. As you now drift on the very edge of sleep, the boundary between the waking world and the dream world begins to dissolve. The boundary between you and the universe begins to dissolve. There is only one seamless, flowing, and peaceful reality. You are that reality. Let go and merge with it. Let the small personal I dissolve into the vast cosmic I am. Let the drop return to the ocean. This is not a death, but a homecoming. It is a return to the infinite, eternal, and joyful source of your own being. Rest in this source. Be renewed by it. Be at peace in it, now and forever. Let us, in these final, quiet moments, return our attention to the most immediate and intimate mystery of all, the nature of consciousness itself. We have spoken of being the witness, the awareness, the silent background. But what is this awareness? Can it be known? Can it be grasped? The mind, which is the instrument of knowing, cannot know consciousness, for the same reason that a knife cannot cut itself, or an eye cannot see itself directly. Consciousness is the subject, the ultimate seer, the one who is aware of all experience. It can never be made into an object of knowledge. It is the eternal subject. To know consciousness is not to know it as an object, but to be it. You are already it. The spiritual journey is not about becoming something you are not. It is about realizing what you already are. It is a shift not in substance, but in identification. You have been identified with the changing contents of your consciousness, your thoughts, your feelings, your body, your story. The awakening is the shift in identification from the contents to the container, to the consciousness itself. You realize that you are not the movie, but the screen on which the movie is playing. The screen is not affected by the drama, the horror, or the comedy that is projected upon it. It remains, in its essence, pure, empty, and untouched. This realization is not a mental understanding. You cannot think your way to it. It is a direct, experiential seeing. It is a subtle but profound shift in your sense of self. How can you facilitate this shift? By withdrawing your attention from the objects of consciousness and resting it in the subject. One simple way to do this is to ask yourself, who is aware? When a thought arises, ask, who is aware of this thought? When a sound is heard, ask, who is aware of this sound? When you feel a sensation in your body, ask, who is aware of this sensation? Do not look for an answer in the form of a word or a concept. The mind will rush in and say, I am, but that I is just another thought. Instead, look for the direct, felt sense of the one who is aware. As you rest in this question, you may notice a sense of spaciousness, of stillness, of a presence that is just behind your thoughts and feelings. This is the beginning of the recognition of your true nature. It is not something you have to create. It is always here. It is the most obvious, the most intimate, and the most overlooked aspect of your experience. It is the I amness that is the foundation of your entire world. To rest as this I amness, prior to any story or label, is the highest form of meditation. It is the end of all doing, the beginning of all being. Let us now consider how this profound realization translates into the very practical, ordinary business of living a human life. An awakened life is not a life that is free from problems. The bills will still come. The body will still age. Relationships will still have their challenges. The world will still be a messy and unpredictable place. The difference is not in the external circumstances of your life, but in the internal quality of your consciousness. You are no longer identified with the problems. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the spacious, peaceful awareness in which the circumstances are unfolding. When a challenge arises, you meet it not from a place of fear and contraction, but from a place of presence and wisdom. Because you are not lost in the reactive turmoil of the egoic mind, you have access to a deeper intelligence. You are able to see the situation with greater clarity, to perceive solutions that were not visible before. You act not from a place of frantic anxiety, but from a place of calm, centered power. This is not to say that you will never feel fear or stress, but you will no longer be the fear or the stress. You will be the awareness that is holding the fear, the awareness that is holding the stress. and this makes all the difference. In your daily routines, even the most mundane tasks can become opportunities for presence and joy. Washing the dishes is no longer a chore to be rushed through, but a sensory meditation. You feel the warmth of the water, you see the iridescent bubbles of the soap, you hear the clink of the plates. You are fully there, and in that fullness, there is a quiet joy. Driving to work is no longer a stressful battle with traffic, but an opportunity to be present with the world around you, to listen to music with your full attention, to feel the sensation of your hands on the steering wheel. You are no longer trying to get to the future destination. You are already at your destination, which is always the present moment. This is the secret of what the Zen masters call everyday magic. It is the discovery that the sacred is not to be found in some distant holy place, but is hidden in the heart of the ordinary. It is in the taste of your morning tea. It is in the face of your child. It is in the feeling of the cool breeze on your skin. When you are fully present, every moment becomes sacred. Every place becomes a temple. Every person becomes a teacher. Life itself becomes your spiritual practice, your guru, your guide. This way of living also brings a profound sense of humor. When you are no longer identified with the deadly seriousness of the ego, you can see the absurdity of its dramas. You can see the comical nature of your own conditioned reactions. You can catch yourself getting caught in an old pattern of worry or anger, and you can smile at it with a sense of loving, compassionate amusement. You don't take yourself so seriously anymore. You are able to be both deeply engaged with life and, at the same time, light-hearted about it. This lightness is the very fragrance of freedom. Let us speak once more of suffering and of its final dissolution. We have seen that suffering is caused not by the events of our lives, but by our resistance to them. This resistance is the ego's refusal to accept what is. The ego has a blueprint of how life should be, and when reality does not conform to that blueprint, the ego suffers. It complains, it blames, it resists. This resistance is the core of all our unhappiness. The end of suffering, therefore, is the end of resistance. To end resistance is to say a radical, unconditional yes to the present moment. It is to accept this moment exactly as it is, without any internal argument. This does not mean that you cannot act to change your circumstances in the next moment, but in this moment, you are at peace with what is. This yes is not a passive resignation. It is an act of profound wisdom and power. It is the recognition that the present moment is your only point of access to life, and to be at war with it is to be at war with life itself. When you make peace with the present moment, you make peace with all of life. This unconditional acceptance is the essence of forgiveness. To forgive someone is to let go of your resistance to what they did in the past. It is to accept that it happened and to release the story of blame and victimhood that you have been carrying. You are not doing it for them. You are doing it for yourself. You are doing it to reclaim your own power, to bring your energy out of the dead past and into the living present. To forgive yourself is to do the same for your own past actions. You accept that you did what you did, you learn from it, and you let it go. You are no longer a prisoner of your own history. When you are no longer resisting life, you are free to love it. And to love life is to love all of it, the pleasant and the unpleasant, the joy and the sorrow, the light and the dark. You see that it is all part of the same magnificent, mysterious tapestry. You no longer have a preference for one kind of experience over another. You are open to all of it. This is the state of equanimity, a deep, unshakable peace that is not dependent on circumstances. It is the peace of the mountain that is not disturbed by the changing weather at its peak. In this state of loving acceptance, you become a healing presence in the world. People are drawn to your peace, to your non-judgmental presence. In your company, they feel safe to be themselves, to let down their own defenses. You heal, not by what you do, but by who you are. You are a living embodiment of the peace that is possible for all human beings. You are a silent reminder of the truth that lies hidden in every heart. And so, we come full circle. We began this journey by seeking a way out of our restlessness and our suffering, and we have discovered that the way out is the way in. The way out is to go so deeply into the present moment that we discover the peace that was already there, waiting for us. We have discovered that we are not the limited, separate, and mortal beings we thought we were. We are the timeless, spacious, and loving awareness in which the entire universe is appearing. This is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning. It is the beginning of a life that is lived not from a place of fear and lack, but from a place of love and fullness. It is the beginning of a life that is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived with joy and wonder. The path is simple. It is the path of this moment. It is the path of your own breath, your own body, your own being. As you now prepare to surrender completely to the healing power of sleep, let this one final truth be your lullaby. You are already whole. You are already free. You are already at peace. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to get, nothing you need to become. You only need to be what you already are. Let go of all the effort, all the seeking, all the struggle, and simply rest. Rest in the vast, silent, and loving heart of your own being. The universe is holding you. You are safe. You are home. Rest now, deeply, completely, peacefully. And so, the journey of words is coming to a close. The concepts, the ideas, the pointers, they have all served their purpose. And their purpose was simply to lead you to this place of silence, of stillness, of simple being. Now, it is time to let the words themselves dissolve. Let them be like footprints on the sand, which are now being washed away by the gentle, incoming tide of sleep. There is nothing left to understand, nothing left to figure out. The mind has been given its nourishment. Now, it can rest. The heart has been opened. Now, it can be at peace. There is only the silence now, a vast, deep, and loving silence. Can you feel it? It is not an empty silence. It is a silence that is full, a silence that is pregnant with peace, with life, with love. It is the silence of your own true nature. It is the canvas on which the entire painting of your life has been painted. For so long, you have been focused on the painting, on the drama, the colors, the shapes. Now, you can rest as the canvas itself, pure, open, and untouched by any of it. Let the breath be your anchor in this silent ocean of being, but do not follow it with any effort. Simply be aware of its gentle, effortless rhythm, a soft rising, a soft falling, a gentle wave of life, flowing in, flowing out. The breath is breathing itself. You do not need to do anything. You are being breathed. You are being lived. You are being held by a vast and loving intelligence. You can trust it. You can surrender to it completely. Let go of the doer, let go of the controller, and just be the breath. Feel the body, heavy and soft, sinking into a state of profound rest. It is as if the body is becoming more and more transparent, less and less solid. The boundaries between your body and the space around it begin to blur, to dissolve. You are not just in the room is in you. You are not just on the bed is in you. You are becoming one with everything. The sense of a separate, isolated self is melting away, like a snowflake falling into the vast, warm ocean. There is no longer a you and a universe. There is only unity. There is only oneness. Thoughts may still arise, like faint, distant clouds in the vast sky of your awareness, but they have no power over you now. They are transparent, weightless, and they pass by without leaving a trace. You are the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the vast, open, and clear space of awareness in which all things are allowed to be, just as they are. There is no resistance, no judgment, no struggle. There is only a deep, profound, and unshakable peace, the peace of your own true nature. This peace is not a temporary state that you have achieved. It is a revelation of what you have always been. It is the discovery of the treasure that has been buried in your own backyard your entire life. You have been searching for it all over the world, and all the while, it has been right here, right now, in the simple, silent, and loving presence of your own being. It is you. You are the peace you have been seeking. You are the love you have been longing for. You are the home you have been trying to find. Let this knowing sink deep into the very cells of your body. Let it permeate every atom of your being. You are whole. You are complete. You are perfect, exactly as you are. You do not need to change. You do not need to improve. You do not need to become anything other than what you already are. All that is required is to rest in this knowing, to let go of the struggle, the search, the effort, and to simply be, to be the silent, loving, and peaceful presence that is your eternal and unchanging self. And now, the time has come for the final letting go, the letting go into the deep, dark, and nourishing mystery of sleep. Do not be afraid of this darkness. It is not the darkness of absence, but the darkness of the womb, the darkness of the seed in the soil. It is a darkness that is full of life, of potential, of healing. It is the source from which all things are born and to which all things return. Surrender to it, trust it, let it take you, let it dissolve you, let it renew you. Imagine yourself as a single drop of water poised at the top of a waterfall. For a moment, you have a sense of being a separate drop, and then you let go, you fall. And as you fall, you merge with all the other drops. You become the waterfall, and then you land in the great, vast, and peaceful river below. You are no longer a separate drop. You are the river. You are flowing, effortlessly, back to the one great ocean of life. This is sleep. It is a returning. It is a homecoming. So let go now. Let go of the body. Let go of the mind. Let go of the breath. Let go of the one who is letting go. Let go of all, letting go, and just fall. Fall into the deep, soft, and loving arms of the great mystery. Fall into the silent, peaceful, and radiant heart of your own being. There is nothing to fear. You are safe. You are held. You are loved, infinitely, eternally, unconditionally. Rest now. Rest in the peace that you are. Rest in the love that you are. Rest in the joy that you are. The journey is over. You have arrived. You are home. sweet dreams, deep peace, and endless love. And so it is. The final word fades. The silence takes over, but it is not an empty silence. It is a silence that is alive. It is the silence of pure being. It is the sound of the universe breathing. It is the sound of your own heart, at peace. You are not separate from this silence. You are this silence. You are this peace. You are this love. There is nothing else, and there never has been. Drift now. Drift on the gentle, silent waves of this peaceful ocean. There is no destination. There is only the gentle, endless, and blissful floating. You are weightless. You are formless. You are free. The story is over. The dreamer is at rest. And in this rest, all is well. All has always been well. And all will always be well. Because in the heart of the one great reality, there is only love. And you are that. You are that love. Now and forever. Rest. Peace. Love. Let the world of form and name dissolve. Let the world of time and space dissolve. Let the sense of a separate you dissolve. What remains? Only this silent, spacious, and loving awareness. It is not a thing. It has no qualities. It cannot be described. It can only be been. And you are that. You are that which is aware of all things, but is not a thing itself. You are the great mystery, looking out at itself through a pair of human eyes. And now, those eyes can close. The seer can rest. The knowing can cease. And all that is left is the pure, unmanifested, and blissful reality of your own true self. Good night, deep sleep, and a peace that passes all understanding.